beard
again. Yeah,
Challenger Jax to give us his perspective too.
So-
There will be Q&A after the episode. But without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. You know me as the Katarina Beast,
the Jesus.
Resident God, up and coming, Challenger. Soon.
Where's Hashinshin? Here's our version of Hashinshin.
Yeah, this guy's on Hashinshin.
Ace is top lane / jungle.
This is like beyond the Rift, but instead of Hashinshin, we have Ace. They're pretty similar, honestly.
Yeah.
But so that was my credentials, Credenda.
Yeah, so I'm again, you guys know me, the Jace one trick, the monster. You know, went 0-3 my master promos because I'm just such a nutty player. Ardent, good stuff, dude. Love solo queue, love league, love Riff Raffs. That's me. So how about you, Ace? You want to introduce yourself again?
Can you tell us a little about
Tell us a little about yourself.
All right, so we got Friday night, or excuse me, Friday morning, 2:45 a.m. Just hit Challenger, Jax main, jungle player. Like I said, last Riff Raff, master of the Grandmaster. That's me.
You can't say that now because you're challenging.
Yeah, I can't.
Now, so you're the
That's true.
You gotta rework that script.
Grandmaster, yeah. Exactly.
Up and coming, top 10 Challenger ladder. Let's do it.
Top 10. Ooh, that's what we want. Okay, so as we talked about, pretty much the topic of this episode is the relative strength of lanes in high elo. So like, you know, what is the best role? What is the worst role? What do we all think? Like,
how have the rules changed?
Yeah, historically, you know, like we all remember Relic shield meta,
Overheal, Ardent meta,
Ardent meta, lethality.
Lethality. I remember.
I hate lethality.
I like that. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about all that stuff.
So let's go ahead and start off with the historical strength of the lanes.
Yeah, so we don't have to go through every season. I just put them on there just to, you know, give us a kind of baseline for like where should we start. But like historically, I guess just generally, we can always look at like what's been the strongest lane, do you think, overall?
If we're talking
I would say
solo
it's mid.
queue?
Or yeah, I would say it's mid. Mid's probably been for the most number of seasons. It's been mid lane, but I think this season's a little different.
I think like the past few seasons, it's kind of been 80 carry.
Past few, I would say. Past two. I could see season 7 definitely.
No.
Meta, but also
yeah, I was gonna say
Ardent
season
and
6.
Relic. Maybe okay. Like I'm biased to like what is like the current, and all I can remember is just 80 carry Twitch and Kog'Maw just 1v5ing my team.
That's true, and there hasn't been like many assassins and like really high like it's kind of just been like control mages. I could see that, but like
mid meta has been strong, especially with like Azir, especially when Azir was really strong. Historically, yeah. I feel I don't know if it's as much as lanes as much as like some items being broken, and that just enables champions.
Isn't it supports making the 80 carry strong? But that also like so the reason why 80 carry is so strong and has been strong for like the last couple patches is like it's partially because like there's strength in terms of like individually how strong they are, like how individually they provide their pressure, but then also since 80 carry is always with the support essentially and is always laning with the support, the strength of the support role gives power to the 80 carry. So if the support is getting all this free gold, all these free tanky stats, they're super strong, they can always peel, then 80 carry as a result is just going to be able to deal more damage in fights and stronger. And then we can also talk about like the power creep of like in Beyond the Rift, they were talking about this a lot. The power creep of jungle and support, how they've been getting more gold pretty much every like patch since early seasons, and they've gotten a lot stronger as a result compared to previous seasons.
Yeah, I really dislike that. Yeah. I dislike it, and
so
we'll just do a flow of conversation, like nothing concrete. But so you can discuss with me on this. But I think right now, supports have it so easy. They don't even build Sightstone. You don't even have to lane because you get so much comeback experience just shoved in your face. And because of it, we now have this like in high elo. There's this thing where supports they'll just leave their lane and they'll roam top lane from bot. They'll roam mid. They'll run top side. Mid. They can roam. They can do almost any gank path they want because they'll never fall behind.
Yeah.
And, like, you'll have a support that's in lane the entire time and the other one roaming. And guess what? Like, in 2 minutes, they're both going to be the same level.
Yeah.
And I think that's bad. I think supports, like, you should get... If the roam doesn't work, you should be punished for it.
Oh, 100%. What do you think, Ace? What do you think about, like, the power of, like, jungle and support and stuff?
Alright, so I think jungle's in a pretty solid spot. It's not like how it was in the past where... They designed it so that they were designed around like being forced to buy jungle items. Because, like, I remember mid lane Lee Sin, mid lane Kha'Zix, stuff like that used to happen because they just put a lot of damage, or whatever it may be, into champions because they assumed that they would only be played in one role. So I think the way that they're designed now and the impact they have now is okay. But supports, it's so free. Like, you don't even have to be in lane. You hit level 3, your AD carry recalls just walk mid lane. Even if you don't kill them, they lose a wave of experience, and it's just like, all right, I guess I'm behind now for free.
Yeah. It's like when I'm mid lane, if I go for a bot roam and it doesn't work, maybe I lose like a wave. Like I get punished, I come back, the enemy mid's stronger. But like support's like, as long as your AD carry doesn't die bot lane from being alone, which, you know, is pretty easy to do.
Yeah, pretty easy to do if they push
it's like they're fine. And I think that is bad by Riot.
Yeah, and like I think another thing, just to touch on your jungle point, you think jungle's in a good spot and stuff like that, and I think it is. I think it is healthy for the jungler to be able to like do a lot of things. I think the only argument I would say like against jungle right now is like jungle has so much uptime to gank everything. Like you can just clear like all your jungle and for like a solid minute you're nothing else to do but sit here and you're like make your life hell. I feel like maybe that could be toned down a little bit, but at the same time, I do like the pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like that only really happens when you're post 6 because you're not clearing fast enough. Until you
it's
hit
definitely post 6. Yeah, it's definitely not.
And what's it called? I think the only thing that they need to change about jungle is they need to change some of the itemization in the jungle, right? Because you have people like Kha'Zix who go, you know, fuck warrior, rush Duskblade. Like, that champion's ridiculous with that item. You just don't win any 1v1. You know, people like Evelyn and Nidalee were skipping completing jungle items and going for support items. Not even because they gave gold, but just because the movement speed was so valuable on them. So, like, they don't even really want their jungle item. And they need red smite to be able to fight people, but they want blue smite because they want the movement speed. It's just like there's a lot of problems in some of the kits and champions that I feel like could be fixed with itemization choices. Because you only really have... Oh, actually, have you guys seen the changes to the jungle items on PvP?
I don't like them.
I think it's stupid. Aren't they forcing everyone to have Sightstone or the control ward thing?
No, so yeah, they're forcing control wards into counter jungling, and everybody has blue smite now. There is nothing else.
Yeah, that sucks. I think that's...
It's so lame. I feel like that's going to make the problem worse.
Yeah.
I have two perspectives on that. Number one, fuck red smite. Red smite is bullshit. A jungler should not have an exhaust on a smite. That is insane. The amount of 1v1s I lose because the jungler is holding an exhaust.
Yeah, it also ties into like the thing where like Scar was talking about how like mid lane it used to be like if I walk into the enemy jungler, the jungler should be scared. Like in season 3 and stuff, the jungler's scared of me. Like if I meet the jungler, they're dead. But now, if I meet the jungler and I'm going to war and I'm alone, I'm getting my ass beat.
Yeah.
If I walk into Kha'Zix level 3, level 4, I'm dead. I'm straight dead.
I feel like if you walk into melee range of the person, then you
of course,
should.
But like if I see like a Sedge or like if I see like a Zac, like
that just disgusting.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like the tanks are like super healthy on their clears, and they still do enough damage or like have enough CC to keep somebody in place for long enough that they can just get murdered.
And like I just can't fight back because like there's no way I'm killing you in the time that my opposing mid laner takes to get there.
Yeah,
and 100%. Crush me. So
okay, and then point 2, because I said it was a 2-point thing. So number 1, fuck red smite. Number 2, League has always had this philosophy where they say they want variety. They say they want people to, you know, be able to play what they want, which is why they did the keystones. You know, they said you can pick your own build path, and you know that wasn't true. Instead, champions were enabled by who uses the keystones the best. That I feel like that's what happened. It wasn't, oh, now I can play a champion many different ways. It's just, oh, no, this champion abuses it the best. Which is why Skarner's good, by the way. And they just overbuffed him, I feel, a little.
Yeah.
But I feel with the jungle change and forcing everyone into this counter jungling control ward, you're taking away the variety which you always talk about you want to give to people. So I don't get that decision.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's super weird, because it's like, right now, you look at the top counter junglers, and you've got like Nunu, who doesn't really count.
Yeah.
You got like Nunu, and then high single target damage. So like Kha'Zix, Lee Sin, Nidalee.
Yeah, Nidalee.
And then like nobody else really clears like they do. Especially the more valuable camps like Raptors or Krugs.
Well, what do you think
all you have to do, because last thing before you go on.
Yeah, no
The only thing you have to do to get the control ward is kill the big monster, because that's what counts. That's what counts for Serrated Dirk. That's what's going to count for that item. That's all you have to do. So you just walk in, fucking nuke smite, and walk out, and you have free control ward, plus enemy camp gets denied and despawns. If it's Krugs, otherwise they're losing out on their big monster camp.
Yeah. I would
It's
agree.
super weird.
What do you think about Jack Jungle right now? 'Cause I've actually been seeing, like, LCK played it with Fleet Footwork, you know?
Alright,
like,
that just causes pain to me.
causes pain. Yeah, because it's funny.
It's Sejuani.
Yeah.
It's literally just, hey, Sejuani's banned? Well, I guess we can
play
pick
Jack.
Sejuani
What do you
0.8.
think? What do you think about Fleet Footwork? Because I was talking to Nova and Forrest, who were playing it a little bit, and they were running Fleet Footwork. I think we played against them actually. He was running Fleet Footwork. What do you think about Fleet Footwork and like solo queue on Jack?
I think it's the safe option, because what I play with Electrocute in my build, it's dangerous, because if you get caught out, you can get killed really easily if you don't have cooldowns, because you're very squishy, you don't build any health until you get Titanic. And it's really safe, but your ganks are weak, so unless somebody's making a mistake, you're not going to get really anything successful off, because you don't do enough damage. And it's also really expensive, it's really slow, so for people like Nove who play... like he plays Nidalee, and Forrest plays Kindred, who kind of power farms early on.
Yeah.
Like, unless you have that sort of playstyle and you're comfortable with it, it's not going to be that great. I think actually the main reason why it's strong is that the base heal is good enough that you clear without using potions, and the movement speed is strong enough as a utility / defensive utility, like survivability factor, that you can just use it on pretty much any jungler and it'll be good.
Yeah, Fleet Footwork is nuts. This is kind of a tangent. This is like the last tangent I'll get on before we go back to the main point of like roll strength and stuff. But have you seen Fleet Footwork on like Victor or anything like that?
Yeah, I was just about to mention, like,
You know how much
Dunn's
health
just been
that thing
fucking
yields?
tearing it up, dude.
Dude, okay, so Fleet Footwork has a 0.2 AP ratio. Did you know that?
Yep.
It has a 0.2 AP ratio. So I was playing it on Victor because Dunn uses it on Victor, right? Because that presents mine like mana ban and stuff. Literally healed for like 5,000 health, like a 30-minute game. So
yeah,
nice.
actually,
and like in lane, it's so nice.
I mean, is that?
Yeah,
like,
I
guess, yeah, because I guess the health might be better than going Aryan
And the
filling.
Yeah, you get like get a lot of healing in lane. You also get like whenever you get a proc, if they don't really know how to play against it, or even if they do, sometimes you can take it by surprise by getting the proc, getting the burst of speed, and then just going against Victor or something, and it's bursting, and then back.
I think the one thing that like Fleet is really strong for is the movement speed. The movement speed enables you to do trades that you wouldn't
otherwise have access to.
Like, there's so many times where, like, I'm just playing mid lane, it's like, if I had 10 more movement speed, you would have died.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I just don't have it.
Yeah, so you're losing out on AP, but you get, like, a lot of sustain and, like, that.
I could see it. Like, very niche.
Yeah, I played it on Swain, too. It's pretty good.
Swain.
Really?
Oh my God. I watched that. I'm like, why does this idiot have fucking Fleet on Swain?
It's so good.
That's
I think
weird.
Swain's a good champion. We can talk about that later.
Okay, so our next topic is going to be current patch strength. What do we talked a little about it, like, historically. We went on a few tangents. Now we're going to talk about what we think in the game of its current state, and like how all the lanes are, and you know,
all that stuff. Yeah. So would you like to give forth your opinion on what you think is strongest? What do you think the strongest role in the game is right now?
If we're talking strictly solo queue, I think the strength of lanes is dependent on the time of the game. There's no one that like stands out the entire time. But I think jungle is the strongest early game. No role trumps jungle early game.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you have... And then I think right after jungle is mid. I think mid like can take over the game for a little while longer. Then I think it's like top lane. And then I think it ends with like AD. But I mean, it's like the times at which these lanes are strong overlap each other. Because if you have a really good bot lane and they destroy the bot lane turret, you can take AD and support, you can rotate them top, and then you take that turret. And if your bot lane has to match them, right? But your bot lane already lost the turret 2v2, so they can't hold anyway. So that means you have to send the jungler with your bot lane. And so both teams send their junglers top lane to defend their AD support. But the 3v3, your bot lane, who's already winning, will always win. Because they're just stronger. And then you just take every single outer turret. And that's something that only bot lane can do.
Yeah, I would agree with some of those things, but I think if I'm speaking like solo queue in terms of like role strength, I would agree with you that like in different times of the game they're stronger, and I would agree with you that like maybe jungle is like pretty strong early and stuff like that. I will say though, I think top lane is weird to talk about because there's like 3 top lane champions that have so much impact, and I think Ashinshin was talking about this. They're so much better than everything else, and it's like the least played role. There's a ton of autofills that like those champions' impact on the game. Those specific champions on top lane make, if you play those champions top lane, more impactful in that. So those 3 champions I'm talking about are like Camille, Gangplank, and Akali. Like those 3 champions are just like, if you're against an autofill top laner and you're a good top laner on those 3 champions, you just...
Oof, dude, it's so free. It's so
free.
I
would agree with Ashinshin in that respect, but I would also say that like it's not probably the strongest, because if you're on any other champion, you're probably like 4th or 5th in terms of game impact in top lane. But if you're on like Camille, oh my god, you're like easily like 2nd or 3rd to like mid or jungle, I would say. But I don't know. I think AD is still really strong too, which is like why it's kind of hard for me to have like a clear cut like top like favorite, because like you said, it changes with game time. Depends on like what kind of game you're playing, where you are in solo queue and stuff like that. So I guess for high elo, I don't know. I think it's still mid lane. I think mid lane's still the most impactful role in the game.
For the entire game, you think mid's the most impactful?
Yeah, because if you're that much better at mid lane, you just have so many more options. You have so much control of the game. Like jungle does have control, but then like later they fall off. Mid lane has control pretty much throughout the entire game.
I would
say, until you make a mistake.
Here's where I disagree. So I'm gonna actually Ace, give me your perspective because I have like a few points I want to make. But as a jungle top player, so tell me like what do you think is the strongest role? Why do you think that is?
Okay, so I think if you have teammates who either A, know what they're doing, or B, can listen, I think jungle top are top 2 easy.
Okay.
Are like top 2 strongest roles. And that's because jungle dictates how the objectives roll and what towers get taken, what lanes get ganked, you know, what side of the map feels pressure, that sort of thing. And so you can cause lanes that are losing lanes to win or gain an advantage on your own just by having presence somewhere, right? And for top lane, it's the same deal, because if you're a good top laner and you know what you're doing with TPs, you could slam the other side of the map at any point in time. Like a lot of top laners just TP back to lane for farm or whatever, but you could organize it so that you lose like maybe, I don't know, 3-4 minions at most, and you save TP, and you get that jungle dive bot lane happening, and your jungler is like late to the party or whatever. You just TP behind them, clean up 3 kills, clean bot tower, dragon, and it's just like game's open and free. Because what did your top laner do? They farmed 2 waves maybe.
I would also say then that games where it goes like super late and like there's not a lot of early like pressure, or like say like everything else is even, say like jungle top and like mid are even, and then or not even, say like you have a slight lead in like the solo lanes, but then like the AD carry position is just like a wash. I guess that's with every role. Like if one position is a wash, but like if the AD carry is like just like a lot better, or like maybe like a little better than your solo lanes, I think if the game goes late, like 30-25 minutes, AD carry just wins. I think you just, because if you have like the mechanics of AD carry to play with like supports that are as strong as they are now, you just roll through fights.
And remember what I was saying? I say like AD carries have like the later part of the game.
Oh yeah, they have it. They except for like Azir and stuff. Whereas I think that's why mid is the strongest, because it's the most versatile.
Azir got nerfed.
Azir did get nerfed.
I don't think he's as good anymore.
I like those changes.
So the point I was gonna make was, I don't know. I don't see that much Akali. Honestly, I don't see that much Akali. But Camille, Gangplank are just disgusting. Unkillable, insane amounts of damage, and so hard to kill.
Oh yeah.
Especially like GP, you could maybe kill GP, but Camille is like, it is a nightmare to try to kill Camille. She'll just hook shot like a screen away.
Wait, what?
She's gone.
She's free.
How is Camille
She's so
free?
easy to kill. Wait, if you're trying to gank Camille and you don't have CC, then you're out of your mind. You're never gonna kill her. But if you play it right, dude, she's so free.
Maybe because how do you think I'm talking like once it's like she's T-Force, she has like Hydra, and she just splits.
Yeah, dude. There's been time like legit. You have to play around it, obviously. Like I've won games against. I don't just lose every game against Camille, but I just think it's so annoying. Where like she can be like 3-3, I can be like 10-3. with like an item on her, and if I try to 1v1 her, she's destroyed.
Yeah, she'll just.
Oh well,
if
yeah,
she's
that's
on
shield.
the force, and I have like, maybe I have Phage and like Dustblade, Ghostblade. She wins every time.
Yeah,
Honestly, she wins
like
every
the
time.
champion gets T-Force, and
Yeah.
her W hits for like 600, and you're just like, all right, well, I
That's
just lost
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And the thing is, it's like her laning is so good, and her roaming is so good. You know how easy it is just to hook shot like us from a screen away into an ultimate,
yeah,
and then you're in a 3v2 and you can't escape because Camille ult. It's like
I think Camille's really
insane.
What do you think, Ace? What would you say? She's free. She's easy to
I
beat?
think if you are losing to Camille top lane, you're either playing a champion who has no options against her, like I don't know.
Who?
Trying to think,
I'm
like
thinking-
okay,
This
like
man
Mal
is
kind
so
of.
confident.
I'm thinking the
We're
entire
talking about,
top
like-
roster.
like,
S plus
Jax
tier top lane. And he's
smashes
like,
her-
yeah, you just suck if you lose against Camille.
Dude, if you
fucking trash,
lose,
man.
like if you lose to
What?
Camille, it means you either have no CC, or she can just outmaneuver you, right? Because like she can't really like one-on-one gangplank. She kind of loses to gangplank, especially if he has barrels. Like pre-6, at 6, he could still fight her and get away and live if he plays it right. Like it's not just a wash. You know, Malphite does pretty well against her.
Yeah.
Maokai isn't great, but like Jax, you should fucking smash the shit out of her if you're playing Jax. If you're playing Pantheon right, you just demolish her. Like the whole thing about Camille is that if you don't know what to do to lock her down, you're never gonna kill her. And what it is that you have to wait for her to hook shot. And you need to hit her with the CC once the pins touch the wall. Because when that happens, the hooks drop and she sits still, her hook shot's on cooldown, and she's free. Because if she flashes away, you have flash to follow. If you're playing somebody like Jax, you could follow with Q even. You just get a really good trade, and then you have pressure on her the whole lane because she can't sustain against you, because if she gets close to you to W, you just jump on her and you kill her again with the same thing, hitting her when she hook shots to the wall. She'll win against any lane that has low or no CC. That's the only thing.
I would agree with that, and I think there's definitely counterplay to Camille. But I would also say, and I think you would agree, that Camille's a little overtuned in terms of damage.
incredibly overtuned.
I feel like there's something wrong when I'm getting 1,000 true damage dealt to me.
Yeah, I
Ability
think
on a 2-second cooldown.
I think what they need to do is they need to make it so that Triforce doesn't interact with her Q, and then she'll be much
that would
better.
be a good change.
Because it's giving her 2 times Sheen damage worth of true damage.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Okay, so I don't play a lot of top, so obviously I don't know like the intricacies of top and how it works. But I feel like Camille approaches what Azir did to mid lane, and so Azir is like the Emperor, and you kind of made a point of this earlier. You said you have to be this tall to enter mid.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like what you described, Ace, was unless you're in this certain subset of champions who are also meta and can like have specific like ways to deal with her, you just lose.
Yeah.
And that's what fighting Azir is. Unless you have a way to deal with Azir, you just get your ass like beat repeatedly.
Yeah. I would say top lane is more like, I think like Jace was that champion for a while. Like that you must be this tall to enter top or you're slapped. And I think Jace is like, he's still really strong top lane, but I think Camille's like stronger. So I think she's like the melee version of like, you must be this tall to enter. Because if you don't have a good matchup into Camille, you're getting smashed.
Yeah, and that's what Azir is. Like, if you don't have a good matchup into Azir, you get destroyed. And that was the problem with the champion.
Yeah.
And I'll admit that. I'm like an ex-Azir main, but I'll admit it. Like, unless you're like a champion who either has incredibly long range or like incredible dive, Azir's just gonna stick on you 24/7. And do you think that's what Camille might be, Ace?
Kind of, but it's like you have to factor in the impact of the jungler, and almost every single jungler has CC. I feel like Camille's only like a 100% free win type champion if you're running into low CC.
But
and a lot of the meta junglers do fall into that right now, though, and that's how people lose games. Is when the top laner 2v1s and you're like, well, shit, I guess we just lose now, and it just goes off.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying with that, and I think she's in like a similar position where like Jace was a while ago, where it's just like there is counterplay to him. You just have to like gank him a lot, and once you gank him, if you gank him once, then he kind of loses all his pressure, especially against like tanks and stuff like that. But I feel like Camille has a lot more options to kind of avoid those ganks, especially with hookshot, because she has so much mobility. Even though Jace his range and stuff, he doesn't really have a lot of mobility, like outward mobility. He has the E, but you can play around it pretty much. But I would say that while she does have the weakness of getting ganked, I really don't like that. I don't like it when champions are just gank them. I hate the counterplay of champions being like gank them.
Yeah.
It's like Heimerdinger top. It's like, yeah, you can gank it, but
I wouldn't say
you might get double killed.
Can you gank it? Like, well, that's Heimerdinger. But like stuff like Pantheon or something, just like gank it. Like, I think that's just really toxic champion design.
Okay, I kind of disagree with that. I think a better champions for that are like Nasus and Twisted Fate.
Oh yeah,
and Azir. I think there's a certain subset of champions where the only counterplay against them is you have to shut them down early, and if you don't, you lose.
Yeah, but those champions you can also you don't just need to gank. Like there's like Nasus, for example, loses lane versus a lot of stuff. Same with like, I guess
Nasus is a weaker one because
a weaker one. Yeah, but like
Twisted Fate.
Yeah. I like the idea of champions with really strong laning phases that you kind of need some pressure to like alleviate, but there should always be an avenue in which you can like you aren't completely shut out of the game. Like I think Heimerdinger top was just like you're just completely shut out of the game. Whereas like Azir is like there's some counterplay to it. TF there's some counterplay to it. You can shut him down like maybe solo maybe. In addition with the first one you said.
Maybe not ganking, but as much as like if I don't kill this champion
early
within like pre-6, I'm gonna lose. Mm-hmm. And I hate that concept. I hate it because I have to fight Vlad, and that's same thing against Vlad, same thing against Twisted Fate. And now Adopa released that stupid guide, so all these Twisted Fates go minion dematerializer with Resolve Tree and start corrupting and go Dark Seal, and I just want them to... So I'm just like slam my head against the wall. I'm like, this is cancer.
Yeah.
This is cancer.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, so we went on a lot of tangents now. We talked about Camille a lot, so before I wrap around to the main point, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Gangplank. Because I think Gangplank is disgustingly tanky, scales insanely well, and just has global pressure with ultimate.
I think with Gangplank, he's not as like oppressive as Camille because he definitely has some like weaker matchups, and I think he is a lot harder to play. It's really hard to like get optimal barrels in, especially against high elo competition, because they're just gonna slime your barrels, in my opinion. But I've seen like I know Lawrence, he's like a Gangplank one trick. He makes that champ look so disgusting. So I don't know. I haven't played top since like Gangplank and Camille got really really good a lot. So all I know is that every time I play Jason to Gangplank, it's easy free LP. But
yeah, I think all he needs is touch the uptime of his Q, and they did that on PBE, and then they made another change that didn't make any sense to me, where they made his barrel timer, like how long it stays out, 40 seconds instead of 60.
Oh yeah.
I thought because what I said originally for them to nerf, what they should do for him to nerf is touch the Q.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Does the 20 seconds change anything?
Nothing.
No, it doesn't change anything really because
all he would do is like he puts in bushes.
Yeah, so I said that they should change his cooldown on recharging barrels to place, and change his like access to Q. And so what they did is that they increased the mana cost of Q, and I think if they touch the barrels just a little bit, like maybe like 2, maybe 4 seconds at most, then he'll be really solid in terms of like where he should be strength-wise, because he's still like riding high on the win rate train. I think he needs to be brought down a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, I think like you have with Camille, you think there's like a lot of counterplay to Camille and stuff. Like I feel I feel that ×2 for Gangplank. Like, I think there's a lot of ways to play around Gangplank. More so than Camille, I would say, in my opinion, which is why I don't think he deserves as much attention as something like Camille. But
I feel like Gangplank is just attention. I feel like he's just the opposite of Camille.
I think Raff has a stronger opinion.
I have a way stronger opinion. I think Camille and Gangplank are the most two like abused, busted top laners ever. And I agree that Gangplank is easier to shut down than Camille, but Gangplank in his own sense is disgusting because you enter mid to late game team fights, the guy like will chunk you for half your health, and he's unkillable on top of that, and he can just keep playing safe. Like he's this frontline bruiser tank that can be played from range.
Yeah.
And that's like something, and it's just like, and he's tanky. So it's like, how do you, like, it's so hard to deal with him, I feel. And he has such a safe laning phase because I honestly, I think GP also has like a little Azir complex where if you don't have a good way to deal with the barrels, it's so hard to win lane against him.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if you're playing a champion who doesn't have, like, who can't kill barrels effectively.
Yeah.
How are you going to lane against Gangplank? Is there a way to do it?
You farm because you're probably somebody that outscales him.
Yeah, but Gangplank scales well too.
Yeah, but it's just like you just have to kind of take a back seat, and then either get ganks or TP or something.
But aren't we in the complex now where like unless you're not tall enough to enter?
Yeah, you're not tall enough to. Yeah, I feel like top lane is just like a select few champions just eating everyone else.
Yeah, I'll say that is definitely true.
Okay, so all right, so that's the end of the GP conversation.
Yeah,
so let's wrap back around. So we were talking about the strengths of the roles, and Ace, you made a point where you said if you think the top and jungler are good, then they're the best, right?
Yeah, like top lane can win the game on his own or coordinate with the team to win if he smashes lane, and jungler coordinates all the objectives and where the dives happen and where the pressure is to dictate what lanes can win.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that was a different perspective from us, right? Because we both thought we would, before you said mid, we thought we would say jungle. Yeah, but we might be biased as mid.
Yeah, okay, because
even though everyone says mid,
because I think early game jungle still has his game. I think jungle still is like. And it always has been just like early game, just with the nature of lanes, unless there's like a huge disparity in one of the solo lanes or the bot lane as a whole, jungle disparity is like, you can totally tell, especially early game. You can 100% tell if your map is black and like 3 people have been ganked and your jungler's still farming, you know you're in a mood for a bad time. But then on the flip side, you also know like, if your top laner dies to Camille 4 times, the game is over. The game is just over.
Or if your bot lane gets
if your bot lane gets double killed by Callista like 4 times.
Oh, like, dude, don't get me started on that
2
champion.
times, the game's just over.
So here's the point I wanted to make, right? I think the strength of roles is like it depends because I feel like certain roles are just dependent on others. As a mid laner, I'm dependent on my jungler. That doesn't mean he has to gank not in the sense that like, oh, if my jungler doesn't gank my lane, there's no way they can free. No, it's the sense that my jungler creates pressure, and by creating pressure, he's stopping the enemy jungler from camping me or from making plays like elsewhere. Like if my jungler can create pressure, that gives me opportunities as a mid laner to do things also. But if my jungler doesn't have any pressure and the enemy jungler
has all
pressures me on every single room, I can't do anything. I'm shut down as a mid laner.
That's true.
And I think that applies to every role. Like I think top, synergize with jungle. AD carry, obviously with support. You can be like double lift, but if your support is just this fucking monstrosity, just potato walking around, you're not gonna win lane.
I think jungle and mid share a lot of like the similarity. Not a lot, like not all the similarities. They're not obviously as dependent on each other, but they play off of each other a lot, like AD carry and support do. Whereas like if you ask a jungler what they wanted, they would say like a mid laner that like pressures the wave when I want to invade, like is pushed up, he pulls back when I'm pressuring a different lane. Like he'd want that, and then like you ask every mid laner, it's like. I just want a jungler that pressures when I pressure, and like so like obviously mid jungle synergy is super important, and that's why I think as mid laners we put a lot of credit into jungle. But I do think mid lane is a lot more flexible in how it can carry, because like there's a lot of like if you stomp your lane hard enough as mid, you could pretty much 1v9 every game. If you're that much better than the opposing mid laner, you can just win the game, because mid control leads to deep vision in jungle, leads to jungle control, lets your retard jungler know I can walk up a little, more.
If you're allowed to shit on your lane without getting jungle pressure,
or even if you can like soak up, like if you can soak like 3 ganks and it's still solo kill their mid laner, the game's over.
I would not say the game's over. I'd say you're in a great spot because you just took that much pressure off the map.
If you just take their jungler off the map by keeping him mid, and then your lanes are even and they have all this pressure because they're not getting ganked, and then you also kill the person that's getting all these ganks, that's like...
Okay, there's 2 scenarios here. We're in the first scenario where, like, ideal if your teammates are good.
That's true.
And you soak, like, all of the early game pressure,
or you can
your teammates should do well.
Or you can offset really bad teammates that way, too.
Yeah, but
like, if they're losing lane even while not getting ganked, then it's like, oh god, if I was losing lane 2, the game would really be over.
Yeah, okay, but I've had so many games like that where it's like, it was going to be a coin flip no matter what, but you almost 1v9.
Yeah, you almost
1v9.
But I mean, I always have those games and then also think, like, if I was Apto, the game would be over. I would have
You, like, literally gave me, like, a hilarious idea for, like, some dating website looking for hot local single junglers.
Hot single junglers.
With beards, preferably,
Dude, Corrupt, you get it so good whenever I jungle for you, dude.
I love doing... Yeah, dude, doing with Ace is nuts, bro. It's always pressuring. It's so nice.
I feel like I don't know. I just like I think jungle mid is really important, but I feel like jungle top
Jungle top is good too.
Where?
I would say, I
like,
wouldn't say jungle top. I would say jungle, Camille, Gangplank, Akali. I think jungle, like, those champs. And then
I don't even
everything
think so.
else
I don't
is
even
like,
think
I think
so.
jungle mid's better.
I think if you have a good jungler and a good top lane that know what they're doing and can play off each other, I think it's absolutely absurd. Like, top lane's just over. They have no shot.
That's true.
I had a Renekton. I was playing Jack's jungle. I had a Renekton. He was playing into Akali. I go level 3 after clearing, walk in, the entire top jungle's gone. And I happen to walk into the Sejuani. First blood the Sejuani. Okay, that's cool.
That's cool.
And then I'm just like, okay, her entire top jungle's gone. I'm just going to fuck this Akali so bad, dude.
Oh,
she missed
God.
a wave and a half worth of experience. Renekton just solo kills her 4 times in a row. I'm like, okay, I won the game just by being there.
It's
You
funny.
don't even have to do anything.
You legit described the situation. Remember the game we played, the 3 of us? When you died to that jungler and I was Jace top, that, like, I didn't die to, like, a ton of ganks, but I was literally just sitting there and, like, my map was black and I'm just like,
Oh, yeah.
oh my God, I'm so fucked. I'm like, I just like, because with top lane, you really feel like if your jungler, like, maybe lose out on some pressure or something, you just feel like you're on an island. Because you're so separated from everyone, and then, like, it's like all black.
Dude,
and you're
if
so
that
scared.
was Heidi,
Terrifying.
if that game and like your island was Heidi, I was like the Red Cross. I literally roamed top every single minute.
Hurricane Katrina.
After every single 2 waves, I would roam top to Credenda, and I would just shit on his lane.
Actually,
and you had the lane frozen for so long.
Oh my gosh.
If I was the enemy top laner, dude, I'd just fucking
suicide.
throw my keyboard at the window.
Yeah, I'd be on suicide watch.
Because it was so bullshit.
Yeah.
But okay, alright.
Let's talk
so now we talked about the variants, we talked about dependency. So now let's take a final vote on what we think the best lanes are. Alright, so with all of those included, you just have to name one. What you think is the best in solo queue. And I'm gonna say jungle.
Okay, right.
I think in high elo, I think jungle.
And this is considering like you're not duo queuing, this is just purely solo.
It's purely solo.
Okay, no synergies.
Or like even with you can add synergies if you want, but
well, I think with synergies it becomes like a tier of like
I guess what
mid top mid or mid jungle mid top, and then it would become like
mid top. I don't think
AD support. One. AD support. I think not mid top. Jungle top, jungle mid, and then like another 2 would be like AD support, or maybe AD support if they're good enough. Like if it's like an LCS tier bot lane, duo queuing, I feel like that beats like anything.
AD support's so good because AD doesn't synergize with anything else.
Yeah, I think AD support just beats anything if you're good enough.
Okay, but just name one. No synergy. No synergy.
Mid lane.
Jungle.
What do you think, Ace?
I think it's top.
Top lane.
Wow.
Oh, so 3 different opinions. Okay, that's good.
Top
I like the
lane.
3 different
Like
opinions.
I'm just gonna put like a little bit of context on this. Carp, do you remember when I went on like a 5-game jungle losing streak and just tilted and said I'm just gonna queue top lane?
Yeah.
You remember that day?
That.
I won 9 top lane games in a row. And solo carried every single one of them. Just smashed the shit out of my laner. It was so free. I feel like if you're just that much above the enemy top laner, you're just gonna win everything.
I feel like the one thing top has early game is in high elo. There's 2 to 3 times in bot lane or like around jungle where there's going to be a TP fight, and whoever if you win both of those, you win the game.
Yeah, you win the game.
And honestly, a lot of the time it's decided by the top laners teleporting in. Because if one of them loses lane and has TP back, and the other one just has TP ready, like you just lose. You lose numbers game, and then you can just win the game. And I think because of that, top has a very strong early, but they don't impact the game up until they're either like so fed that they're roaming mid or they start splitting.
Yeah, I would say top.
I feel like
pretty strong spot. I think support's pretty strong too though. Like it's really hard to like when we get to like the weakest role, it's gonna be harder. I think.
I don't know. I just feel like what Corrupt said is exactly like the problem why top lane doesn't seem so strong. It's because somebody doesn't roam mid lane until they're fed. That's the problem. Is that you should be looking for those plays no matter what, because that's a way to grow a lead and get fed. Meanwhile, people are so focused on just winning lane. Like I would say probably half the games that I won top lane were either one off of a TP to another lane or a roam mid lane that I just got to kill off for free.
Yeah, I mean those TPs are also facilitated by like wave priority, like pressure, like being able to like have an optimal wave to TP on, or giving up a wave. Like I feel like that's the reason why TF Blade is so good is because like his macro's super good, and then he always has lane prio. And then like if he always has lane prio and always knows where the wave's gonna be, you can just TP at optimal times and like never.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely I don't have like a super concrete opinion on it. I would definitely say I'm like open to like any arguments on it because it's such a dynamic thing. Like changes.
I'd say it's really close. I think the problem with what we were talking about, Ace, when you said like how top laners don't roam that much, I think roaming is super dependent on like the wave, and top lane has the most punishing wave. So usually I don't see top laners roam unless they're like hard winning, because then they can just control the wave however they want. But if they roam and the opponent's freezing, like they end up just losing everything anyway. Or I mean, I guess that still works, but
well,
I feel like it's the hardest to roam in top.
Yeah, I definitely think it's hard. I feel like if you don't do it, then you're not a good top laner at all.
Well,
like,
yeah, okay, yeah, we're talking about high elo here.
Yeah. So like, I feel like if you're talking about people playing it the way it should be played, then top laners should be looking to roam in between every single wave. Because the way that you do it, the way that I do it at least, that I think is really good, and that I've seen a couple of other challenger players talk about, like Wicked and stuff. And I've seen, LCS players do it. Like, I remember somebody sent me a clip of Wicked VOD reviewing Alfari when he was on Misfits. And it's like, in between every wave, you do a loop around Tribush or into River if you're not on the Tribush side. And in the time that you're walking from lane into River, you decide on whether or not you're roaming into the jungle for a ward, roaming mid lane for a gank, or circling back to your lane and pressuring your opponent. And if you're not doing that every time, then you're not doing it right.
Sounds like a good plan, actually. It's good because you check off all the boxes. Like
because like you have nothing to do and you're walking and you think about it while you're walking and you decide before you hit River, because that way you waste no time.
All right.
Okay.
Topic wraparound. Back
Reach
again
around.
to the next. We're wrapping around to the next one. So now we have to discuss what we think the worst lane is in League. And, we kind of just stated strengths of all the lanes, so this is going to be a hard one, boys.
I know what I'm saying, dude.
I feel like if you're not experienced at the game, you would just be like, yeah, dude, support sucks. But I think support is so huge. Impact.
I think it's... Okay, Ace is going to crucify me for this. It's any top laner that isn't Camille, Gangplank, or... I think.
The kings of top.
Dude, whenever I see if I have a Singed on my team, that boy is the most worthless thing in the game.
Wait, that champion is like hidden nut tier.
I've seen a good Singe.
Have you ever seen a Singe like not leave laning phase like with 5 deaths?
Oh yeah.
I don't believe you.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen people just run it down. Oh no, the best. Oh, I love this. Is when he's died 5 times and he's like, oh, I'm proxying and I'm gonna proxy mid. Oh yeah.
Oh my god,
yeah.
dude.
And I'm like, oh yeah.
If Singed is in the base and he touches my mid wave, I am going to get banned that game.
Exactly.
Because I am going to flame that motherfucker.
Yeah. That's why I hate Singed, because I've had so many times where like he literally is denying me XP and gold. It's like,
and they're like, yeah, dude, I'm taking pressure. It's like, no,
pressure,
dude, you're taking it. But that's like, I feel like it's a really like low elo thing.
Yeah, and it's a niche thing.
I haven't seen any high elo Singe like go inside the base. They'll just proxy in the lane.
But like to give you like some I feel like top lane is a lot of, if you don't pick like meta stuff in top lane, because like there's a lot of meta stuff you can pick in like other lanes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff mid lane that you can pick reasonably into other lanes. Maybe jungle's a little more narrow than the other roles, but like support and AD carry, there's a lot of choices compared to top lane, comparatively, I'd say. And there's a lot of choices that can work, but in top lane, there's certain choices that you make that are literally game-losing choices to pick top lane. If you pick Quinn top, you're losing the game. You're losing that game.
Quinn top is being broken.
That game's a straight L.
What do you think, Ace? What do you think about his perspective on why top is the worst if you don't pick those 3?
Yeah, I think the top is, if you just don't pick those.
I just think it's about like
more, but
I don't really think it's like that. I think it's a quite a bit more broader. I feel like it's just you have to know how to deal with those few champions, because if you don't know what you're doing against those three champions, you're just gonna get rolled.
I would say like append.
You should have bribed him by putting Jax in the pool.
Sorry, Jax.
Then you might have agreed.
We can put. How about this? We put Jax. We put Jason there. We put
Riven?
This is bribing.
Some others. Put some others.
Like,
You know,
toss Riven in there.
Yeah,
Like,
Riven.
you toss
Yeah.
Rise Top. Rise Top is
Yeah,
actually
Rise.
nuts if you're God. Like, there's a lot of choices.
I would
you
not
got
throw
there.
that in there.
I would not
Let's
throw
throw that
Rise.
out of there.
He lost the interaction. He lost his hourglass interaction.
Let's throw that in the poop can.
That's why I think he's safe for top lane, though.
You think because he lost his hourglass interaction, he's safer?
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the ganks and his lane matchups mid lane with instantaneous CC, that now he can no longer really play it mid lane and be anywhere near as safe. Because, like, he would escape a lot of ganks by being able to just avoid everything with the hourglass ulti. But if he didn't have the hourglass and could only ulti, he would just get completely fucked. But top lane, you at least have a shot. Because you can outplay things with flash. Not a lot of CCs are point and click top lane. Like, what do you got?
That's true. It's a longer lane,
I
so
don't
you
know.
can maybe get more time
I
on
think
your
you have
R,
it mixed
but
up.
I think
And
it's,
his movement speed is also more useful because it's a longer lane.
it's useful, but I
And the
think
root means
definitely it makes him more like if you remove something like that, it's just gonna make them more susceptible to getting
Yeah,
ganked,
that
regardless of
doesn't
what
make
lane
him
they're in.
safer, Ace. Because when you're removing the fact that he can get away from anything by using hourglass, that makes him more dangerous to like die ganks.
But I'm saying like relative, like the amount of people that he can escape from top lane compared to mid lane now that he no longer has
So you're saying that
stopwatch
like
is a lot bigger.
so you're saying
And
that his role as a top laner maybe is better relatively than it was mid lane because mid lane when you had that thing you could just get away from everything, but top lane you can still get away from stuff.
Yeah, and also his root is more impactful top lane because a lot of people top lane, like their CC, is tied to their positioning. Think like Camille, Jax, Chase, you know, all that sort of stuff. You have to get close to him to be able to use it. You know, Cho'Gath, Urgot, Scion, you know, just name all of them pretty much. Like, it's all relative, and he can get away from that far easier than anything mid lane. Like LeBlanc chains or, you know, Kassadin Qs, Malzahar ultis, that sort of thing, you can't really get away from.
I could see the point.
Rise is way better mid lane than top lane.
I think he is still
I will
better
never.
I think he's still better mid, but I could see where you could
I think we have a huge
make an argument for
miscommunication
top
on
lanes.
like that interaction between us. I think maybe you understand.
I feel like I
more.
understand him. I feel like I understand
Like,
him.
I feel like he shits on every top laner who has no options onto him, and that's like the three big ones right now. Like, he can dumpster a Camille. Like, if she tries to do anything with hookshot, he just hits W and she stops in place, and she can't go on him now.
I don't know. I don't play enough top to argue with you, but
I don't play top, but I'm
I
arguing
can't
with
disagree.
you.
Yeah.
I'm Reddit.
Like,
You
I
were
feel like
wrong.
it has
Reddit, you were
potential.
wrong.
Okay, so all that included, what is the worst role?
I'm
Mid.
gonna stick to my guns. Top lane, except some choice selections. That's probably broader than 3 chains.
Ace.
Dude, I'm calling mid.
Mid
You
the
think mid is
worst role?
Damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Mad
The
shade.
least impact.
We just got called
Why?
like
Why?
F tier.
Yeah, I would love to hear your opinion.
Like, if it's not... I guess I'll say this. It's mid if you're not playing, like, top 10 champions. Or,
Okay.
yeah, it's mid if you're not playing, like, top 10
I could
champions.
see that because if you
Because, like, 80 carry, you could be relevant on pretty much every 80 carry
Yeah,
in one way or another
Ash,
at some point of the
you can
game.
be relevant on Ash. You can be relevant on Ash. Yeah,
Dude, if my
Yeah.
AD carry picks Ash, like,
oh, you can
they
be
are
relevant.
inting.
You can be relevant.
Oh,
if,
yeah,
if
dude.
they pick Ash,
6-item
and they knock
Ash,
them
it's
LCS,
6-item
they're
Ash
bad.
hurts.
If they're not from LCS, no, they could be good. Dude, I've seen some nutty Ashes. I've seen some nutty ults. And it facilitates me, which is why I love it.
I
Yeah.
just look bot, I see a 0-4 Ash building an Essence Reaver, and I'm like, yep, that person's fucking useless.
But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like mid, now that, like, especially it's my least practice role, it's super scary to go into.
Oh,
If you don't know what
Does
you're
that
doing.
make it the worst, or does that make
No,
it
but, like,
worse?
even-
we're not talking about,
even
like,
what I
your
said.
worst role. I'm saying the worst
no.
role in the game.
I'm saying, like, it's a lot harder to execute and get pressure and things off mid lane, even if you know what you're doing, because your opponent also knows what you're trying to do.
I would say then that it's top lane if we're going from that perspective. Because I think, like, say, for example, you're an autofilled top laner against, like, a really good mid laner. That's obviously bad. He's going to take control of the game. Like, dang, he's going to gank every lane. He's going to be really, really strong. You have an autofilled top laner against, like, Darshan on Camille. Or someone. Like, some high, like, Weekend or anything. Any, like, good top laner on Camille or something. that the game is probably more over with the top lane disparity than it is with the mid lane disparity, because like you just have so much access to like bot lane directly with TP, and then you also have the entire top side of the map. So their mid laner, even if he's popping off, has his pressure removed from that. He can't really roam bot because if he gets TP'd on by the insanely fed Camille, he just loses. And then like he also has gank pressure from there as well. And I don't feel like I feel like top lane you can just crush so much harder because it's a longer lane than mid lane, where like after a couple times of solo killing them, they either quickly learn or they just sit on their tower. And you can usually get away with like, yeah, obviously you're gonna lose a lot of pressure sitting on your tower, but with top lane, if you sit on your tower, you literally just die. Like you can get just dove over and over and proxied on and murdered.
I don't know. I feel like it's not the case. I feel like you have a lot more options to be safe and careful with in top lane. Because like what you said, it's like, oh, it's like Darshan and he's just gonna shit on you. Like it's a lot easier to not get shit on and still be like somewhat relevant top lane than it is for mid lane. I feel like if there's a mid lane difference and you're not playing like Azir or like Veigar or something that has absolutely insane or like infinite scaling, you're not gonna win the game.
Okay, I have an interjection for you. So I think something you guys just described it's this idea of which lane can you get the biggest lead in, and also which lane, if you're worse than your opponent, is it the easiest to get away with losing. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what you two just described. And I think whichever lane has the highest, we're kind of discussing snowball potential.
Yeah.
And how hard your lane lets you shit on the enemy lane.
Yeah.
So like in mid lane, if I'm against an autofill, then I'm just going to roam on all your lanes. I'm going to like destroy the map, right? Mm. But if I'm against like a mediocre mid laner, maybe he'll just die once and he can get away with like playing safe, right? And I think that's in the kind of sense you're kind of describing it. So then we kind of look at top and AD and bot, and we're saying like, if we're against like a really good one versus an average one, like which one has the biggest like disparity impact?
And I would say to that, I think if like you have a really good top laner versus like an average top laner, that really good top laner is going to dump on that. Because like the lane is just so long and like wave control is so different, and like
AD, no, bot lane.
Yeah, well, no, bot lane, but with bot lane though, it's not the one person that's doing it. And so it's like two. If you're it's two people. So as a synergy, I would 100% agree that AD support is, but in terms of top lane, I think it's just because like you can get shit on so hard as one person, whereas like bot lane you have to have two people getting, which is a little bit harder. People bring.
Ace, what do you think about my point?
I think you were right about like what we were saying,
and Credenda's and what Credenda was.
Yeah, I feel like you were right. Like it's not that's correct about what we were saying, but I feel like that's what matters, right? Because you know, when you're thinking about the worst position, you have to think about like what's the worst case scenario, right? Mm-hmm. Where like, you know, mid lane, if you're both going even against each other, you know, you kind of just cancel each other's pressure out, or like you both grow leads. It's basically, oh, whoever's playing the best champion, aka Azir, is just going to end up winning out anyways because the lead means more to them. And I feel like that's why it's the worst. Like if there were more viable champions who could just smash a game open on their own, like Azir can, then it wouldn't be mid lane. But he just trumps pretty much everybody right now.
But no, Azir got nerfed, so
yeah. What do you think after the nerf?
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that the nerf didn't do anything to his late game. So if he gets something, it'll bring him to the point where he still got faster.
Didn't really do much.
Like because like top lane, you know. Like if you get 2 levels up top lane, like yeah, sure, you might be able to smash them if they're stupid, but you can't dive them, scoop them out of tower, and then still kill them before they can react. Like you've got a lot of tanky champions there, a lot of people with important CC, people who can dodge things like Camille or ignore them like Gangplank. You know, ridiculous shields like Ornn, singed flips and roots, and denying flashes, and people still take stopwatches top lane as well. Like I feel like just mid lane, it's a lot more impactful, and it's a lot harder to avoid things like that.
I can see the impact.
Here's what I disagree on both of you, what you guys think about Azir. Old Azir, early game got nerfed, but his late game after level 16 was still the same. It was still the super OP Like if you don't, whichever team has Azir wins, right? I'm talking when you have the super long range, right? But they nerfed his early game, and they nerfed it to a point where it was so bad that you could never reach your late game. And I think what they just did to Azir, I'm not saying Azir's trash right now, but he's not like the Emperor of Mid anymore. Like, level 1 QCD is 15 seconds. That is insane. That is like ZW, almost.
Good.
ZW is 18.
Oh, this is a tangent, but...
Okay, but so I'm trying to finish the point. When you nerf a champion's early game that hard, and Azir has 2 strengths. Number 1, early game lane king. Number 2, late game king, right? You nerf one, you don't get the other, right? You might get it sometimes, but it's not guaranteed anymore. And I think they just nerfed his early game, so he's no longer as strong as you guys think.
I don't know. I don't feel like that's the case, because I feel like the only thing that impacted is his ability to kill people who are like garbage tier. Because like the only what that nerf to his Q meant is that he's not going to be able to kill people who flash away for free, but he'll be able to kill people who like overstay their welcome and don't realize that, oh, his Q's coming back up and he has enough damage to kill me with, 1 Q auto or something like that. I feel like all it did was hurt his wave clear slightly and his kill potential slightly, and neither of those necessarily translate to him building a lead into the late game.
Okay, I hard disagree with that point, because I think adding 4 seconds to his Q, like, would you say that like tones down the total level of harass you take from Azir in lane?
Oh yeah.
And it just makes it so much easier to lane against him?
I haven't lane against Azir because I still ban it every game.
Okay, so... Okay, not too many tangents. So now, let's take a vote, because I think we want to hit Q&A pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon.
So let's take a vote. What do we think is the worst role in this game right now?
I'm on the Wii.
And final, so go ahead.
Top lane, dude. Top lane that aren't those champions, bro. That shit dog
so
shit.
So for anyone who hasn't missed it, what champions are those?
So I think I have a couple champions in there right now. Camille, Gangplank, Jace, and these are the champions that aren't shit. Camille, Jace, Gangplank, Polly, maybe Jax,
Riven.
Some others. I don't have a definitive list. I'm not a top laner. But other than that, top lane is poop. But we've talked about that.
Ace, what do you think the worst role is?
I want to stick with mid lane, but I guess I might switch it up to ADC.
ADC.
Wow.
Now you're gonna have to give some. Okay, well that was the vote. We got the ADC.
Okay, Nick, you can put a little context.
Yeah, you put a little context here.
All right, so it's like
if you want, you're like entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I want to pull this up real quick.
We can agree to disagree, of course. This is friendly discussion. But
all right, yeah. So I think it's like a mid lane if you're not playing like top tier champions, and then bot lane, it's kind of the same deal, but the top tier champions smash harder. Bot lane.
Yeah, I see that. I can see
like if you have somebody lock Jin in your game who isn't a Jin 1 trick, what's going through your mind, dude? Like, are you just ready to lose? Or Lucian lock?
Yeah, Lucian locks. Like, I want to try new changes. It's like, you're against Callista and Alistar. And you're dead every single... Oh, it's so tilting. But, tangent I was thinking about. I was just thinking, I don't even know why I thought about this, but, you know how Zed's W used to be so fast? It
was like
instant.
1400.
If they reverted it tomorrow, how good was it? Insane. He'd be amazing.
He'd be
nuts.
He'd be nuts. I want it so bad, dude.
No,
Fuck.
that would make him so.
I want it so bad. And I was also thinking, what if Presence of Mind worked on energy? I was thinking about that. I was like, Presence of Mind energy? Like, get a call out of my games.
Are you insane? Holy shit!
You're fucking nuts, dude. Get out. Jesus Christ.
Okay,
hey, dude, you have endless energy, and you could already endlessly use your cooldowns at level 18 anyways.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to think what I think is the worst role. I feel like every role has its strengths, and like there's just dependence on like.
Get off those drugs at Credenda.
I'd have to say the worst role, maybe like top or AD. Maybe top, I might say.
Maybe it's
so
I'm
hard
top
because it
laner,
depends.
but...
It really does depend. It really does depend. I feel like if you don't have, if it's like you have no jungler, top is just It's done.
It's an island. You're on an island with savages.
If I have a ward bot, I'll be good. Like, I don't even need a person. I just need a human being to place. Not even a human being. A robot to place wards every 4 minutes.
You a human being.
They don't get
solo
humans.
queue.
You get potatoes.
Like, if he could place a ward in top lane River Pixel Brush, like, that's it. I'm good, dude. I should never die top lane.
Dude, some potatoes can't do that.
What if they can't do that?
Some potatoes can't farm properly, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
They're gonna ward.
I would. Okay, so like I'm gonna say like either top or AD, but even then, I think the differences between the lanes are minimal. I think they're all very close to each other, and even if I'm saying like one is like worse, maybe by like 1%. I think each lane has its strengths; they're all dependent. And okay, so any final closing remarks?
No, I just gotta go to the bathroom. But start queuing.
Okay,
yeah, I want Udyr buffs. That's all I want. Udyr buffs.
Use your jacket to go to the pen. Oh. Alright, so such ends our Rift Raff episode 4.5. So now, as always, we will go ahead and start our Q&A. So we got me and Ace right here. So we'll go ahead and start taking questions.
Alright, so I'm just gonna answer this thing right now. You don't like the argument if you're not playing top tier champions because there's not just one champ. In my opinion, AD has the most top tier options. That is not correct, because yeah, it's just not correct. Like, let me pull up right now. OP.GG. Right now in the bot lane, you've got like Ezreal, Tristana, Varus. Okay, and Xayah, maybe. You got 4 at most. Mid lane, you've got like Azir, Xerath, Anivia, TF, Talia. Anybody else? I mean, Asol's really only one tricks. I guess Orianna.
Diverse, but I think what you're trying to say is like, it's not just one champion. It's just like a tier. Remember when we made the tier list and we have like an S through an A tier and like B tier, and it's like if you don't play any of those champions, you're at a disadvantage.
And like, yeah, it's like specifically talking about the lanes, and what I mean by top tier, it's just like who can counter Azir's super long range, high pressure, high DPS late game, and like you're looking at maybe like Anivia, and
Anivia would get dick.
I mean, if she gets a good wall with Q, like maybe, but like not many people can deal with that thing. And like bot lane, same thing. If you're fighting against an Ezreal and he goes 2 kills up, or Tristana and he goes 2 kills up, you're fucked. You got nothing. Like, unless you're Xayah, you got nothing. Like, you have to be playing either Ezreal, Tristana, or you're just gonna get slammed. Because like it's all about being mobile and being able to dodge the enemy's guaranteed damage.
I feel like if Ashe Lucian ever loses a lead to like a top tier AD, like Ezreal, Tristana, the game's over.
It's over.
Okay, so next question, Rihanna. What is the way to play around Alawi? Do you fight her, run away? The matchup is so confusing.
Try your best to dodge it, but if she does hit you with it and you're like relatively equal strength, I think if you hit her, it reduces the damage she does. Pretty sure.
So yeah, no, hitting her while you have your spirit out reduces the duration the spirit will be out.
Yeah. So if you're even and she hits you with it and you think you can fuck with her because it reduces the duration.
Yeah.
And then, just try not to get by it.
Yeah, you gotta gauge what you're gonna be able to do by looking at how many tentacles are around you and in range of you and your spirit.
Yeah. It's a lot of matchup experience, I would say. Like, you just have to like kind of experience her damage to not get caught by it.
Make the decision whether or not you want to fight or run away.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Blabbles, aren't the relationship to the lanes just like rock, paper, scissors? I think when League first started, it might have been that simple. But I think the game has evolved to a point where it's not just I'm long range, you're not long range, so I counter you. It's not that simple anymore, and it's like incredibly complex.
I agree.
Okay. Question. From Kilo XVI, low skill 4 mid laners to carry on.
Low skill 4 mid laners?
So
Zoe? Question mark?
They're easy to carry on? What?
I feel like Zoe's pretty good for that.
Zoe, yeah.
You just learn how to do one thing and then you just do it.
Yeah, I would say Zoe's one of those champions that has the low skill floor, pretty high ceiling as well.
Well, you mean high skill floor. Like she's really.
No, I think she has a high skill floor and then also a high ceiling. Because I think while it's super easy to play her at a base level, there's a lot of things you can do at the highest level.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I think
she's really good at her floor, but like at her.
So she'd be a good champion for this person to pick up, definitely, because she's just so easy.
Yeah,
she's also hard.
One I wanted to say that someone disregard point out in the chat, Malzahar,
yeah.
Dumbass broken.
Galio, honestly, dude.
Yeah, Galio. I feel like Galio's a little disgusting right now with Aftershock.
Yeah, you just
you take no damage. So Galio, Malzahar,
Annie, I guess if you're super low elo.
Annie, if you want to be
she's
LS.
a poop champion, but you're low elo.
I think Oriana can teach you a lot by mid lane if you play her, but she's not easy to play.
She's not easy to play.
I feel like this question is like you kind of want like this cheat sheet to carry, and there's really no cheat sheet.
You just gotta find the champion you like playing and play.
Yeah, and each champion is like complex
and very tailored, like to not your personality, but you're gonna like certain champions. You're not gonna like certain champions. So I would just find the ones that you enjoy playing, and you'll just.
From Disregard, at Corruptail, what do you think of players that don't play games on AFK and Challenger tier once they get there?
Gotta make that bread, baby.
I swear to God, Evan.
I think it's fine.
I think Challenger is like.
No, I know him in real life. I'm just gonna punch him in the mouth when I see him.
You can do that, but answering the question, it's not really that big of a deal. Like they already have to play a ton of games anyway from how the bank system works. So you can't just really AFK.
Yeah, I don't really care as long as you got there.
Yeah. Next question. Looking for question mark. A bunch of time.
Dude, I need an AD carry to practice with now.
AD carry.
I need to not be shit at AD.
Oh, dude, I'm so bad at AD. That isn't the case.
Yeah, I don't think you were there for when it happened, but I got flamed by Tarzan for not being good enough. Dude. No. It's because, like, he was right though. Like, I wasn't good enough to be able to compete with challenger level bot lane in autofill.
Oh yeah, me neither.
Okay, so
that describes a lot of people.
Okay, you guys add question marks to your questions so I know what to look for. Nunslayer 666. Do you think there will be a meta where Zed, Yas are top tier pick ban?
There would have to be some big changes.
There'd have to be some big.
So like the W, if they revert for Zed, if they reverted the W to the old speed, I would love that. Because then I'd be able to play against Zed. Because I want to play against Zed. I don't want to play against fucking Rise, Z, or Mal's all game every day.
I feel like
fuck these champions.
Yeah, I feel like for Yasuo though, they would have to either change something about crits. Or like maybe change his passive.
They would have to make him safer somehow.
Or
they'd have to protect his laning.
Or they made his E. Dude, I was thinking about this. What if they made his Q go down to like a 0.5 second?
Yasuo?
Yeah. So you Q, and then
why the fuck would you ever auto attack?
So you just be like, yip. Oh yeah, because if it's low enough,
I already die instantly. Like I literally, I'll enter a fight as like I played this game yesterday. I was Katarina. There's like a 1-5 Yasuo. He gets IEPD. Oh, it's over. IE in auto Q auto. I just took 1,000 damage in a second, and I'm just like, what?
His passive needs to be like reworked and stray away from crit, so he doesn't just get this like big 2-item power spike and is just useless until he hits his like he should have like a smoother transition. I think they should give him more of an identity as a.
I would agree with that. I think he's kind of just like this crit monster.
Yeah.
And if you gave him like his own identity, that'd actually be pretty.
Yeah, because it used to be he's a lane bully, and then he also scales, and he also once you hit this thing, like you can't really get him behind and stuff like that. And that was bad. That was oppressive because he's good at every stage. So they nerfed his laning phase. Now late game, you have so many tools to deal with him, and he just doesn't like do a job. I would say I would want him to be like a lane bully. I would want him to be back to where, like, for example, if they, because a change that would make him viable that is probably not the most healthy is if they made his E go back to like 100% damage.
Oh no!
Dude, imagine they did those changes the same day. They changed ZW the same day, and then they changed Yasuo the same day.
I would ban them every game.
All right, half his shield then, if they're gonna do that.
Half his shield? That'd be I would accept that change as a Yasuo player.
Okay, so next question for an actual question from Disregard. What about people who get 3 to 4 challenger accounts and stop people like us from actually hitting it at the end of the season? I mean, like, then they're imagine, yeah, they're that good.
If they can maintain.
I know Bobquin did that. He had 3 accounts in challenger. Like, holy shit, dude! Like, you're fucking nice.
Yeah, like imagine like one person is good enough to keep 3 accounts in Challenger, and you're not good enough to put 1 in there.
Yeah, you fucking suck.
That's just like, you just fucking suck. I just fucking suck, you know? Like,
exactly.
We all fucking suck.
Like,
compared to people that can.
At this point, like, if you're going for a Challenger, you should already have the mentality that, like, I'm just trying to improve. Yeah. You should never have this mentality that, wham,
or like someone's taking it from you.
This guy has 3 accounts, wham.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I feel like if you should play to win, but if you're losing, you're not there to lose. You're there to learn.
Yeah, it's win and learn.
I don't think anyone. I've never heard of anyone having a problem with that. Having multiple accounts.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think anyone that does that is unstable.
Okay, so next question, Rasenkin. When are they going to start buffing mids instead of nerfing the top tier constantly?
I mean, that's every role, right?
Yeah,
that's creep. They just nerf everything instead of buffing anything, and then they wait like a year.
Yeah, that's kind of Riot's philosophy. They'd rather do like one change that makes everything OP and then slowly nerf everything down rather than just buff. But they buff things that have just been out for a really long time.
Yeah, I would say with the Swain stuff, I like with the stuff we're doing with Swain stuff. I think we can talk about Swain too. But dude, Swain, I think.
You think Swain's bad? There's so many mixed. A lot of people think he's bad. I haven't played him enough to.
Like fleet footwork is.
Okay, Blabbles. If I ignored your question, please just ask it again.
Wait, what do you think of players that don't? Wait, no.
Okay, so next question.
Yeah, next question.
Uhart Bobby, I believe this was talked about on Beyond the Rift, but do you think missing a wave hurts too much when roaming to other lanes?
It depends. You can have roams where it's just a risk, right? So like you're gonna be choosing like, okay, I can miss this wave and I can potentially get this roam off, and if I get this roam, I might get 2 kills, I might get no kills, I might get 1 kill, but I'm 100% losing the wave. So you just have to make that decision for yourself. Is that worth it? And sometimes it is, because sometimes you can get 2 kills, miss a wave, and get pressure. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you go to the roam, then maybe you die and you lose a wave, and then it's giga not worth it. You know, so it's just like decisions. It comes down to decisions. So sometimes,
what do you think, guys?
I think that's just it. Like, you are taking a risk by roaming, and the risk is like it's both on losing the wave and losing your life and not getting anything done with it. Yeah. Like, leaving your lane should be a risk that's damaging if you don't get anything. Yeah. I feel like it's fine with the way it is.
Sports don't get punished, by the way.
Yeah.
I think it really depends whether or not, like, you know it'll work or not. And if it doesn't work, then that sucks, but that's the risk you took. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Selectone, here you go. Thoughts on Swain? Luke was telling me he doesn't scale. I have a 60% WR.
I think Swain is so good.
I think he's fucking.
His ult needs buffs. It's poop, but
dude,
his early laning,
giga trash.
Dude, his early laning is not as weak as some people think it is.
I don't think his early laning's that bad, but it's just like the champ, when he goes up like 3-0 and he can't kill his enemy mid laner on his own, it's like, the fuck is my champion supposed to do?
I think it's because a lot of people just don't know how to play Swain yet. I think the way to play Swain is you start E, you cheese him with the fucking like the retarded range on it. You just get you get an E through minions. You pull it back to him. You click him, kick him toward you, and auto him with fleet, and just run away. That trade is like not won by anyone else. Like if you get it, if you get the E, you like don't lose that trade ever. And then if you get WQ, you E, and then you W as soon as your E's flying out. If you know you can hit it, the W hits as well with the because you keep him in there for an extra second, and then you Q him and it's great burst. And then I think his laning phase is pretty decent. He's kind of short range, but I think it's just you just have to respect it and wait for your cooldowns. His W is a really strong ability, actually. If you can like use it, you can block off chokes when you're chasing and stuff like that. And then his ult is strong if you have fragments. But if you have no fragments, and I think this is the reason why a lot of people think he sucks, is because people go into fights with 0 fragments, and Swain's ult literally does 0 damage with 0 fragments. So if you don't click anyone in the fight, and then just pop your ult while you're sucking people, and you suck at Swain, you're literally going to do 0 damage with your ult. Literally 0 damage. So I think that's why people think he's bad, because he has such a low skill floor, and you can literally end up doing 0 damage with one of his abilities if you don't play it right. But I think as people learn him, and if they give him a couple minor buffs, he'll be a strong.
Okay, I don't think Ace could have take your Swain.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. I just feel like he's
I think the only thing that you should never pick Swain into is Jace. Ever.
You never everything to Jace.
Never pick that champion into Jace.
There's like the League universe in your mind, and like everything revolves around Jace.
Well, dude, no, because literally, okay, did you see Cutie's new video? He played Swain, first time Swain against my Jace.
Oh my god, you somehow brought this conversation to Jace.
It is because Jace shits on Swain. You should never go Swain into Jace. It's like,
I think he's a little weak. I think he might be a little weak. I need to play against him more.
Yeah, I would love to 1v1 you on it, dude. I bet I could beat most of your champions.
You bet me on the 80 nid.
Dude, Swain is good though. Swain is good.
So you admit 80
Ask
nid
Pat,
is bad.
dude. 80 nid is bad.
Okay, so next question, Terabyte. Do you like the old or new Katarina more? I like new Katarina more. Katarina. I think a lot of people like try to reminisce about the old Katarina, but the thing about the old Katarina was she was shit terrible. She won 0 lanes. She was useless, and I think the new Katarina takes way more skill with dagger placements. I think she has a lot more mechanics, and she's a lot harder to play. And I think a lot of people just hold on to this idea of old Katarina and saying like, man, those were the good days. Those were the golden years. But it's like Katarina is good, and she's good in a state. She's fun to play. She's highly mechanical. And she takes a lot of skill to pull off at a high level.
And she's complex. She's complex, as opposed to the other one where it's just like mash your keyboard. Whereas like dagger placement.
Back when Shunpo.
Speaking of daggers, just a little tangent. How's the nerf treat?
The nerf? I don't think it's that bad.
You don't feel it? Really?
Yo, Crump doesn't even feel it, dude.
And the nerf that went live were different.
Okay.
The PBE nerf was way worse. If the PBE nerf went through, I would have been like really sad. But it was just a small nerf.
That's good.
Okay, so next question. Let's see. Credenda keeps cutting out. Fix that, buddy.
I keep cutting out?
Well, the mic
no, I just think when you get a little softer, you were a bit, but it wasn't. Okay. You didn't really miss anything.
Again, I thought I moved the mic here.
Yeah, I moved here.
Okay, so... Okay, Rasenkin, do you agree with making the turrets harder to take to make a roaming less punishing?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think it would slow down the game too. I'd like that change. Because right now, I think they're talking about this in Beyond the Rift, so I don't want to just copy everything they're saying, but essentially the way the game operates now is like jungler gets ganked bottom or bot lane doubles, and then they take bot tower, bot lane goes top, bot lane takes top tower, or mid, bot lane takes mid tower, and all the towers are weak and defenseless. So if you like straighten up, you know, how strong the towers are, you both get a stronger or a longer laning phase, which is what I want. I want more time to dominate my lane opponent.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous right now. Like, I get one gank off bot lane, clean bot lane tower, move up, take drag, recall, lane swap, go top, take top, lane swap mid, and it's just like, alright, this is fucking stupid.
I think that is a dangerous change. I think bot lane is the easiest turret to take, because if the gank works, it'll be 3 people on the turret. But mid lane and top lane turrets are not easy to take alone. And I think if you make all turrets harder to take, number one, how often does your bot lane lose turret 2v2? Very rarely, doesn't it?
Yeah, I've seen some shit, dude. I've seen some towers fall at 530.
How often do you see this shit, though?
Yo, like 40% of the time, dude. My tower's gone by 7 minutes.
10 games, either my bot lane or their bot lane takes tower 2v2 at like maybe 9-10 minutes.
Okay, fair. Yeah, now,
definitely.
Second question. How often do you see mid or top loser turrets solo early game?
Not as often.
Very
I would say like now imagine 20% of the time.
If we made those turrets even tankier.
I would say then, what about this change then, making only bot lane?
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm saying. I think maybe only making bot lane turrets stronger. And the other thing you're doing, if you make mid and top stronger, is there are certain champions that excel in laning phase. Like Twisted Fate, the longer laning goes on, Twisted Fate's stronger. Anyone with global is stronger in laning. So that would be a huge buff, indirect buff to everyone who like loves laning phase if you buff all turrets. So maybe just bot lane turret. Okay, so next.
I just like the idea of like an extended laning phase.
Anbu Cheech, is it a Q&A yet? Yes, it is.
Q&A time, baby.
Jay says 7 abilities.
What do you think about Cat with Mirror Shell, Iron Skin plus Second Wind plus Doran Shield? Like you could do that.
It seems like you're already expecting failure.
But I feel it's easier, and I've just been doing this. I feel like in unwinnable lanes, it's easier to take teleport, and you protect your early laning phase, and then you can still run like Precision, Triumph, or you can go Inspiration. And I think that might be. I can see like maybe in a really rough lane, you could take that. Rough. It has to be.
It's
really
gotta be rough. It's gotta be
you're
like
leaning against
Jace
or
yeah, it's gotta be
something.
Jace rough.
But you give up a lot. You give up a lot by doing that. So that makes you very weak. Okay, so
Thoughts on LeBlanc?
Thoughts on LeBlanc from Choch about
She
I think
needs a rework.
Needs a rework.
She needs a rework. Currently, she's in like an okay spot. You can play her, but
I feel like she's
feel
either
like,
oppressive or she's useless.
Yeah, I feel like she's hit or miss 100%.
Yeah, it's really like either she just she'll just like run around chaining everyone dies, you get chained in lane, you die, or she's just so weak and she gets outscaled and she's useless. I think she needs a rework. I think the direction Riot took her was really bad, and giving her wave clear and giving her everything and like no weaknesses other than falling off is just like, it was a silly change.
Yeah. Even though it's iconic to LeBlanc's kit, the chain, I think that just thing needs to be. Because, like, I don't think you can have a champion where you are allowed to, like, double chain someone. I don't think that should be a mechanic. Because whenever that champion is strong, it's like...
Okay. Next question. Miles Prower. Why is Riot too stupid to nerf Ka? I'll let you guys take this
Good question. That fucking champion needs to just not exist.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I buy Blue Smite, fuck Warriors, just Duskblade, win every 1v1.
Yeah, dude, and no one likes that Kha'Zix is broken. Like Demir even says, like Kha'Zix is banned every game. I'm done playing League until Kha'Zix gets gutted. Then they like buff it, and it's like, what the fuck?
I already imagined when Kha'Zix was already like in this state of I permaban him, and on the PBE there were Kha'Zix buffs.
Yeah, I'm like,
and I'm just like, Riot, what the?
Yeah, I saw that.
What are you doing?
Like when they said, "Oh, dude, let's just shift some of his AD ratio from his passive to his fucking Q," and I was like, what? Like nobody gives a shit about his fucking passive. It's about the Duskblade chunking me for 280 more damage than it should.
It's not the thing going invisible through my entire top side and is now on top of me on my red buff.
Or yeah, what about the fact that Kha'Zix, like Moby's Yumu's ulti upgrade can just run from his red buff to your blue buff and never appear.
Yeah,
just
never appear until he's there in you, inside.
It's fucking so dumb.
Yeah, that thing needs to be changed. I don't know why that ever became a thing.
Okay, Rasenkin, will you get lane swaps back if all the towers the same, like making bot as strong as?
Oh, definitely. If you make bot lane stronger,
you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might see lane swaps in LCS again, which Riot wouldn't want. They don't want lane swapping.
Yeah.
But the thing is that now, with junglers the way they are, and with the amount of roaming presence prevalent because of certain runes and champions and itemization, I feel like it would still be fine. Like, think about how fast you can get from mid to top lane right now if you were to, like, have a scuttle taken, have magical footwear, have, you know, celerity, have even fucking water walking. Like, you have so many options to be able to move fast around the map. I feel like you could react to a 3-man pressure from bot lane and jungle, top lane way harder, and wipe them with your top laner, your jungler, and your mid lane.
I think it would be different in the sense that lane swaps could happen, but both lanes would lane swap. It wouldn't just be one. Because whoever is still bottom during the lane swap would just lose because they can't kill the turret.
Yeah.
So I think it's a risky change.
I don't know.
Also,
yeah.
Caitlyn might actually see play then again.
Yeah, because her job is to
headshot them turrets, dude. Good change.
From Levels, whoa, Crypto, can I time out Selectdown for disrespecting the floating head? Sure, go for it.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, Ace gives you his blessing.
I know him in real life, so you can do whatever the fuck you want to him.
Ban him.
Jeez, players.
Anbu Cheech, dude, the sustain is insane. Like Aston hits you, and it's a wet noodle.
He's talking about
the
mirror shell, second wind.
Yeah, like I mean, it makes your like laning strong. I agree, but Katarina is more. Your laning is weak anyway. Next question. Kane, you don't think W is stupid on LeBlanc?
I think W provides counterplay, and then like the chain is just.
I think LeBlanc's chain's insane.
Yeah, the chain is just like
it hits so hard.
I guess CC'd by something else that's undodgeable or that's dodgeable, and I fucked up, and now I'm definitely.
And then you get double chain.
You just get double chained because there's nothing you can do. There's no counterplay to double chain, but there's counterplay to like LeBlanc W because she has to, you know, she has like a lockout time on it. I'm pretty sure, and then like if she goes back immediately, she obviously lost all of her forward mobility. I don't know. There's a lot more interactions with W, I'd say, than with. If it was a chain, it's like you dodge it, great. You didn't dodge it, you die. It's like Zoe E. It's like you dodge it, great. You didn't dodge it, you're dead. It's really, I don't like it.
Okay, Resentkin, LOL. Do you actually think Azir isn't the second best mid right now? I need to play against more Azir in his nerf state. I haven't played against him much, but I don't think he's no longer like, you know, like S tier. He might be like A tier.
I think Zoe's still definitely.
They're removing the teleport. I think Riot.
Oh, once they do that, that'll be fine.
I think Riot made a really good decision on like what's wrong with Zoe, because I don't think Zoe's problem is just that I got one shot re. It's like
I got RNG'd re.
What separates a good Zoe between a bad Zoe can strictly be decided on the RNG she gets from her shards, and I think that is the problem with Zoe. And I think by removing teleport and like not letting her get gunblades, I think you fixed a lot of the problem. I think the paddle star nerf, even though like everyone at Reddit was like, oh, this is so fucking useless, like I would have loved to see like a little higher mana cost on it so it's less spammable. But the fact that they nerfed the cooldown means she can spam clear the wave like 2 seconds slow.
Oh, it's not 2 seconds. It's like 0.25.
Well, at max level. Oh,
but it's like 1 second though.
1 second. So
it was still pretty weak.
So I would like to see a little higher. Higher.
Yeah, I think they have good changes. They have it so that you can cleanse while you're getting slept.
Yeah, so I think that's a healthy change. I like it should always have been Q accessible.
Yeah, Q accessible, and then maybe the teleport.
But I think Riot's making good changes. I think when they first released Zoe, they were too afraid to nerf her. I think Riot was really hesitant of over nerfing Zoe, and that's been really obvious. So, all right, next question after Q&A time. I'd like personal advice time corner.
I like the personal advice time corner. That's true. We did give a lot of good personal advice.
I mean, that's pretty much what Q&A is. If you guys have any real life questions, go for it.
I'll help you get that.
We don't care.
I'll help you get those Q&A ladies, bro.
Riff Raff is like, this is Q&A. Anything can be asked.
Yeah.
So, Terabyte. So I'm an AD main, but get mid sometimes. What is a good autofill champion for mid besides Mouse? Corky? You're an AD main?
Corky, yeah.
Corky, yeah.
For the love of God, do not play Lux or Morgana. That's like the first. Like if you play Lux or Morgana mid, I'm just like, I'm gonna get some autofill player. This is great.
I would rather. I mean, well, he's not playing at our elo, so I think at a lower elo, I think playing Morgana is fine. I think Morgana is a better mid than Lux.
You can just taste the autofill.
Yeah, but I feel like Corky's just way better than them.
So bad.
Morgana's so safe though.
Oh, it is, but
I feel like if you're autofilled, why not play?
Well, if you're autofilled.
Because you can just play Corky and fucking crit 2-shot everybody.
Autofill dodge. If I'm autofilled AD, I just dodge.
Yeah, but they probably don't have the champions mastered if they're autofilled, so.
Yeah, but like you just hit R once and auto somebody and they lose 3/4 of their health.
Counterplay is social sliming, dude. You just gotta beg him. Please give me my roll, please. I'll PayPal you $10.
just
PayPal him $10.
Prostrate
yourself, exactly.
Before them. And Cheech, what are the opinions on Echo? Better mid or jungle?
He's better mid. But
if you play him jungle, you're fucking trolling.
I've seen Artsecon's been spamming him jungle.
Yeah, I encountered him and he wanted to jungle. I gave him jungle. He picked Echo. And I was like, wait, they rolled out those 10% attack speed changes. I'll ask him when we get in game. I go, so how's that 10% attack speed on the clear field? He goes, it's fucking dog shit. And I was like, okay. And then he went 0-2 and we still won. But that was okay.
Nice,
like that it is not good in the jungle.
Strong maybe. Strong maybe.
I think Echo mid's good. I see Shifter play it a lot to great success.
Shifter does play Echo mid a lot. I think that clip, it can be strong. It's really snowbally.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you don't have jungle pressure, you can just get slapped. It's
yeah.
Kind of like also, it's like a better fizz.
And I would also say with Echo, there's a lot of like, if you're really good at Echo and the other person doesn't really know the Echo matchup that much, you can get bursted really fast. Because like you like think like, oh, I just have to dodge W and shit, but like some Echoes will just E on you. And they're like, I know I have you here. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah, you just open up with the EQ.
Yeah, they'll do the EQ where they like E and they throw Q and then they like work.
Yeah, or they'll like throw Q and then like, if you're like dumb enough to walk up, they'll just like E onto you, get the second proc of the Q and then E on you and then the Q's up again and then they keep going and then, yeah.
Okay, Rasenkin, LOL. So Zoe Azir are the top tier mid at the moment. I mean, I'm not saying that they're just the top. Like, there's a lot of good mid champions.
Yeah, we definitely need to think and talk about it more before we give you guys a concrete.
That would be like that'd be like an episode of us like revisiting the tier.
Yeah, we'd have to revisit.
We're not saying like those are the best. We're just saying they're really good.
Yeah, we might do that for the next episode. I want to say I would just have to
revisit.
I would just have to play more selection.
Okay, so anyway, with Corki making a comeback, who do you put below them? But you're literally asking for like a tier list change, and we would have to do like research.
We don't want to give you guys like
just opinions.
Yeah, we want solid like back with some stuff.
Yeah, last time we did our tier list, like we interviewed like a ton of players. We treated it super seriously, so I can't like answer that question unless like I'm 100% certain.
Yeah, if you want my personal opinion on like what's good right now, I'd say like Zoe. Zoe's like the best mid laner right now.
Blabbles, where's the tier list update? We might revisit the tier list on a later episode. I like we have the stuff that we can do it again, and it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, it would be a lot easier.
It would be so much easier.
It'd be so much easier.
But it'll be like in the future.
Yeah, we just want to get it ready.
Okay, so Blavels. Oh my god, I knew you were gonna ask this question. Who are your guys' LOL, waifu, and husbando? Corrupt said he's just using Cat like she's work. Okay, first off, playing Katarina is like a job, all right. It's like a career in a sense, all right. I don't sexualize her. I respect her as a strong, independent dagger assassin,
woman. Yeah,
crazy chick. Okay.
Yeah. So that's your wife.
All right. Well, I'll think about it. You guys can answer.
Okay, my husband's obviously Jace. Got to get that hammer.
Husbando.
But I think I'm cheating on Jace with some Swain lately. Dude.
Oh.
I'm playing some Swain. It's so fun.
Oh, you like him old, don't you?
I like him a lot.
What is that?
I like him a lot.
Puma.
Dude, he's like he really is like a Vlad Victor mix. He's like a Vlad Victor with like a hint of Karthus, dude. Weird. I don't know. It's like it's a weird flavor. I'm like I tasted the flavor first.
You're like mixing a drink.
You're
let's add a little lime.
Yeah, and then he's got the range. You know, poke with the W. You know what I'm saying? A little Jace in there, a little sprinkle of Jace. Everything nice. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know, I tasted him at first. I'm like, dude, this shit tastes like shit. Like this is a terrible champion. This is actually the worst champion I've ever played. And then I played him a second game. I'm like, oh, you just gotta start. That's the key. Oh, we gotta go fleet foot. That's the key. And then I started losing some rank games, and I'm like, this sucks. And then I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go back to the drawing board. Then,
dude, fucking Shifter lost like 180 LP just trying to figure out something. He's like, oh, this thing's actually just dog shit, dude. I ulti max stacks against no MR fiddle, do 400 damage.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
This shit was dumb.
Ace, go ahead. Who's your husbando / wife?
Alright, it's Riven.
It's Riven.
Yeah.
The man lusts after what he can't have.
I fucking hate that champion in League, but I guess it would be Riven.
I guess.
Would
you have a waifu or just a husbando?
Do I have a waifu? Hold up. Nidalee jungle. Nidalee jungle is my waifu.
Nidalee? Nah, dude.
See cougars.
Just like Jace.
You want the cougars.
Exactly. It's just like APM champions, dude. It's just like how fast can you smash everything? And if you can smash it fast, you're hitting it, you know.
Husbando. I think I have mad respect for. I still have respect for Azir. He always has a place in my heart, even if I don't play him as much anymore.
Husbando. And waifu cat.
Wait, yeah, dude, cat. Because like, there's no other like league chick that I play. Like, what else do
I think the only league chick I play is.
Am I gonna call Zoe my waifu? I'll be a fucking pedophile.
Oh my god,
Jesus. Yeah, hard pass. So I'm just gonna go with.
Yeah, I got a Zoe body pillow. Put me on that.
Alright, okay, so Terabyte, do you guys think Ryze will die when the stopwatch will interrupt his ultimate?
Yes.
No, he's not gonna die.
I think he's gonna be in the fucking dirt, dude.
Really?
No, I think he's still I think he's still okay.
I think especially with the have you seen the AP items, dude? They're gonna be so broken on Ryze. Give him so much mana.
Yeah, 8.4, yeah, he might be kinda good.
Ryze is gonna be disgusting. Also, we could do an episode on that, because the AP changes are.
We should do an episode on the new AP items.
Yeah, they're violent.
Yo, like I don't know why, but they're just like hey, dude, we're just gonna buff.
Yeah, we're just gonna make mid
every single DPS.
We're just gonna make mid so broken, and then just add a bunch of.
They say, hey, we're gonna buff mana mid laners. Yeah. We're gonna buff DPS mid laners. We're gonna buff Mordecai.
Anyone that uses AP is strong as fuck. Now,
yeah. We're buffing Vlad because fuck you,
dude. Fuck
like,
you
what
guys.
the
Suck a dick, Jace player.
Dude, I just want them to nerf tabbies. You can give APs all you want. I just want tabbies gone, dude. Get the brown boots away from me.
Dude, that'd be a great change for me, dude. People can't mitigate my fucking magic damage anymore. Whew. Give me that.
Okay. Next question. Mick Monk. I've been Heartstuck Bronze 5 the last 4 seasons. Any tips to get out of Elo Hell? That is not Elo Hell. Get better.
Oof.
I'll give you some tips. Work on improvement. Don't focus on your teammates. Only focus on yourself. Right? Work on improvement. Yep. Play more games. You're probably not playing enough games. I look at a lot of people that send me their OPGs and shit. They got 10 games this season, bro. How typically you need like 100 games to get to your real Elo. So if you're complaining about like being Heartstuck or some shit, it's probably because you're not playing enough games. If you are playing enough games, then it's all about mentality, right? Not blaming your teammates and focusing on improvement rather than just pure LP. Because if you improve, LP will come. And if you just play for LP, then you're just going to keep winning and losing LP and never improve. These are like the 3 tips I would give you. Obviously, those are super vague, super general. But those are tips.
Focus on your mechanics, not your macro. You focus on CS. You focus on.
I would say
Bronze 5.
Yeah, Bronze 5 micro.
I feel like micro. Platinum, after Platinum, you start focusing on macro. But yeah,
you should work on it.
Like literally, just work on your mechanical skill. Don't fucking don't not use SmartCast. learn your ranges on the champions that you play. Play a champion that you enjoy. Learn them in and out. Get comfortable with them. Know how to itemize.
Pick a couple champions and use practice tool. Because
limit your pool.
Yeah, you'd be so surprised how helpful it is to every day, just like 5-10 minutes on the champions you like. Try some shit, do some shit, practice some shit. It's like when basketball players are really good at shooting three-pointers, dude. How many three-pointers do you think they're shooting in their off time? A lot.
Yeah, that's true. I've been doing that on Cat. I've been going to practice tool and just like practicing a little.
Yeah, practicing combos, man.
Helps a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so next
top
question.
3 junglers.
What did I walk into? Craigasm by Points Tara. Q&A of Riff Raff. And Boo Cheech at Ace Windstorm. Top 3 junglers right now.
That's jungle is just like resident sleeper right now, dude. It's like the comeback of Nidalee. That champion's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Thankfully, they made the changes to her Q, so now I could just shit on her.
Did they change her Q? What did they change about her Q?
So I can now block her Q.
Oh yeah.
With his counter.
Yeah, like not even just my Counter Strike. Shen W blocks it now. That's all that sort of stuff. Super nice. But yeah, Nidalee, I guess. Rek'Sai.
Is there any this is just a tangent, but is there anything on your champions that like should definitely be changed, but you don't want them to change it because it's
like
good?
Something that's broken?
Something that's like low key, like doesn't affect stuff very much, but is like definitely something that they should remove. So like for Jace at least, if you Q, melee Q, and they stun you during it, you still hit them with an auto attack. No matter what stun it is. Unless they knock you away from them, you always hit them. So at the end of Counter Strike, just Q onto that motherfucker and slam him. It's so fun, but they should definitely change it. So, like, what do you think? What's like something?
I hate you.
My
so
champion
much.
just got nerfed. You're asking a man.
Don't tell your secrets. Don't tell your secrets.
You're telling me to unveil Katarina's deepest secrets.
Deepest, darkest secrets. Oh,
we have a good relationship going, me and Katarina. Yeah. You know, I can't just fucking throw everything out there.
I don't know if it's something that they should take out, but like, you can't flash Jax's Q damage, which means you also can't flash his W damage.
So once it's Q'd on you, so like once he presses Q and he's like in the animation of flying over to you, you can't flash out of it?
Yeah, no, you're fucked. You're getting hit. And if he presses W in midair because he realizes you flash away, then you get hit by both Q and W damage. You can get killed like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's undodgeable.
That's actually
I don't think that should be removed though. But yeah.
I wouldn't say to remove this, but if we're talking about like things that people don't know about, if I perfectly, with 3 daggers, reset my auto on every Shunpo,
you can just...
You are dead. There's like a minigun of auto attacks coming out, and I've surprised, like, I would fight LL, and LL was just like, what the fuck?
I don't think...
He's literally just like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
I don't think that should be changed, but that's cool. Definitely.
I think there's like a lot of... Okay, one annoying thing Katarina has, so her Shunpo acts as a... auto attack reset, but if the Shunpo kills the target, it's not an auto attack reset.
That's so weird.
So like, if I kill a minion with the Shunpo, then I attack at normal attack speed. It's so jank, it annoys me.
That is jank as fuck.
Okay, so sorry if this is a little delayed. So just to recap, Ace likes normal-aged people. Credenda likes older, and Cruft is a creepy pedo bear. Whoa,
I love the milk.
I said Katarina.
Damn, straight out admitted it.
Okay, do we bother with this one? Do you want to bother with this one?
Seek mental help.
Yeah, Tarek, get some help.
Seek some counseling. Seek some, coping mechanisms. Pedophiles get through life. You can too. seek some help, man.
Kung Fu Blue, dude, my boy. Okay, my boy. I missed the main talk about Echo, and I'm out of touch with the game since yesterday was my first time playing in a month. Is he in a decent spot right now? Would you say Echo? I think Echo's fine.
I think he's viable. Yeah, I definitely
he's not like overpowered or super strong, but he can be played mid and jungle. Maybe top lane he'd really struggle, but maybe top lane.
Yeah.
So the one thing that Echo has that other melee assassins don't have is he has pretty solid wave clear.
Yeah.
Echo's out of his weak laning is just, I'm gonna keep throwing Q on the fucking wave, and I'm gonna out clear you, and then I'm gonna like survive laning until I'm strong enough to beat you.
Yeah.
And that's what Echo does. Wow, that honestly,
I'm getting BM'd right now in chat. What the hell?
Dude, they're flames.
Yeah. Send some more mod messages to Jack's mains.
Oh, dude, that was such a bad meme.
At Ace Windstorm, why are you talking? You are hard stuck 228 LP Lamau low challengers. Stop talking.
Yeah, you're hard.
What would you like to? You can flame him. We're cool with it.
Dude,
just unleash on him, dude.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. He could think that. Yeah, but what happens at the end of the day is I don't remember his name, but he remembers.
So, dropping the name. I like it. I like
no name, dude. Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
In the name of Tarzan,
dude. We have a title for that. That's called Omega Giga Random.
Omega Giga Random.
Oh my god, dude.
Super random.
Holy.
Super
rest
Giga
in peace,
Omega
Shaco Cat. Miles Prower, get mental health.
Get mental health.
Yeah, go ahead, ban him. If Rasenkin, if Jax gets gutted, do you think you'll still stick with him?
Why would Jax get nerfed? I will.
I
I found that champ before he was strong. In between, actually, wait, that just reminded me, dude. Bring back old Gunblade. Give it to me. I mean, not Gunblade. Rageblade.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you back old Rageblade, but we should definitely nerf Gunblade.
No.
Yes.
What? Nerf Gunblade? What the hell?
That is the main reason Katarina is good. If you nerfed Gunblade, Katarina would be terrible. It would be terrible. The champion, like, lives off of Gunblade.
So does a calling.
No, dude. Great.
Okay. Fuck yeah.
Okay. So, next question. Anbu Cheech, I got a good question for y'all. What team comp would you each prefer if you can choose your teammates' champs?
Want to go first?
Oh, dude, give me a Karma mid Lulu support every fucking game.
Karma mid Lulu support?
Dude, I will build my jungle build. I will just steamroll the entire enemy team.
Yeah, dude, you got
Did he just say Karma mid?
Yeah, he's got some weird, like, fetish-like stuff. Maybe Karma's his wife.
In front of us, real Chad mid laner.
Yeah, dude, I'm Chad, he's Brad, he's talking about
fucking
dude,
Karma.
He can go 60 CS down, I don't care. No boots, just buy a fucking Ardent, dude. I will roll the enemy team.
What? No. Hard.
So okay. I think what I would want to have on my team is Zach. I want Zach. I think he's so good. I love when he camps my mid lane. You know, I'm Jay, so I want AP. I want Zach. I want a brain dead top laner or Camille if it's a really good top laner. And then I want like Ezreal, Braum, or Alistar bot lane. I really like Braum. I want like Braum and like Kalista, or like Braum and Ezreal. That's a slimy team.
I'd be like, okay, probably Camille top. Camille's fucking disgusting.
And you want Zach jungle too, don't you?
Give me Zach maybe. I mean, I might be okay with like Sejuani.
Or I'd be okay with the Sedge, but I think Zach is better.
Sejuani might be okay. Like if they're really good at like an assassin-y jungler, like Nidalee or something. I like ironically the Kha'Zix I played with on my team, they always suck ass.
Yeah, suck ass, yeah.
But like I think I'd be cool with like Sedge, Zach, or if they're really good at assassin one. And then bot lane, give me like fucking, give me Alistair. Give me like Alistair.
Yeah, Alistair or Braum.
Alistair's
right?
disgusting.
Something beefy, right?
Something beefy. And my AD, none of that pussy shit. Either give me like
Kalista,
fucking Sven Ezreal, or like I don't want Kalista. I want someone who just scales and just like Tristana, Varus, stuff like that.
Cutie on Triss with like Vincent Braum. With like Gwei Zach.
Dude, that sounds like a fucking stomp bot lane, dude.
Okay, so
Or dude, honestly, like if we're talking about like one tricks, I keep it taco gin with egg salad, Vel'Koz bottom.
that's so disgusting.
Pretty nasty.
Oh, dude, GG.
Pretty nasty.
Me and Corrupt played a game with them. I fucking
Yeah, dude, you
inted.
should run
Didn't
over the
matter.
game.
Didn't matter.
Dude, it was
I
actually
was
so
like
funny.
111, wasn't I? It was fucking. It was great.
It was,
I didn't
it
have
was
to do
so
shit.
funny. I was playing with egg salad and like I like the gut of death, and I asked if I could mid. He's like, yeah, sure, you could have mid. And he picks Ezreal AD carry, and I opened up his history, not a single Ezreal game, and I'm like, I like you for giving me mid, but I'm dodging the fuck out of this game. Because I had like 2 other autofills, and I'm like, wow, what a nice guy.
Dude, it's funny because we played against the guy, I don't know how this game got through, but you know Harambe main, right? The Wukong player? I was against Shifter, I think. He was Soul, and they had, I think Wukong player played Caitlyn. And you just go to his OPGG, it's just like 170 games Wukong, 1 game Caitlyn, 0% KP, like 2 and 6. And then the Shifter looks at that, he's like, game's over, I'm so sorry.
How do you have 0% KP when you're 2 and 6?
Oh, no, 0% win rate on one game.
Yeah,
2-6.
that doesn't make sense.
No, and then he played that game, just got fucking...
Okay, next question. Makes me so happy. Echo viable again. He's one of my best champs, and I need something to carry me out of silver. Yeah, dude, do it. Just get really good at him.
Yeah.
Echo, I think has a very high skill cap if played properly. Let's see. Question. What does Credenda mean?
J-Smid one trick. And I played a little bit of... My Victor's pretty clean, they say. Cleanest in the West, aside from...
They say. Alright, wait, then what do you main? Ace Windstorm. What do you main, sir?
Yeah, what do you main, sir?
The jungle main.
What
and
champion?
I main Jax. Main champion is Jax.
Okay, Catalyst Gamer. If you could get a coaching lesson from an LCS/pro player, who would you pick and why?
Faker.
Faker.
I'd be like Faker, telling me what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing so many things wrong.
Faker, or if it was NA, probably Bjerg.
If it was NA,
I'd go Bjerg.
I feel like Bjerg wouldn't be the best teacher. He's probably the best mid laner, but I think with NA,
they don't have to be a good teacher. Like, we're at the level where we understand what they're saying no matter what.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe also some people would be more.
I have to take this.
Oh, you have to take this? Yeah, no problem.
Go ahead.
I would say either Faker. Yeah, Apto. I would get a coaching lesson from Apto before I got a coaching lesson from Bjerg Center. Pretty sure. What do you think, Ace? Who would you get a coaching lesson from?
I don't even know. I would probably go with I would probably go with coaching top lane because I feel like I don't have a lot of stuff that I don't already know in jungle that I need to work on. I would probably go with
Blank. Hello.
Oh, by the way, we did not say LS. We said Faker or...
None of us will fucking say LS.
I will never...
If any of you say LS, you're off my channel.
Yeah, no offense to LS. But
yeah, no offense to LS.
Yeah, no offense to LS. He definitely does some good work, and he does some good coaching and stuff, and, like, props to him, but I don't think he could teach me.
At our level, like, we would need someone who's, like, a world-class player.
Yeah, someone who's, like,
the only people
actually
who
so
teach
much
us.
better than me.
I would probably go with Haunser.
Wow.
But we were talking about also, I would rather have Faker or Apto. I would have Apto teach me before I'd have Bjerg.
Yeah, Apto I could learn a lot from him.
I would sooner shoot myself in the foot than get coaching from Tarzan.
Yeah, me too, dude.
No shot, dude.
I would
not a
shoot you
fucking shot.
I'd shoot you in the foot before you got coaching from Tarzan.
Okay. All right, next question. That was a good question. Thank you for that, Catalyst Gamer. At
favorite season
from Pornstar Tarek. Favorite season and why?
Ooh, that's a hard one, dude.
Season 3.
I feel like everyone defaults to
season 3 was the first one that popped into my mind.
Everyone defaults to there
because mid lane was full of animals. Zed, Yasuo, all the assassins were being played.
I think I played Zed. I think I was a Zed main in season 3.
Only
I was
bad
too.
part.
Everyone was, and then as soon as Yasuo came out, it became that edgy Yasuo main, that edgy Yasuo kid. I think my name was Death Incarnate too.
Yeah. The only thing that was wrong with season 3 early on was Fort Pot.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. Then
that was it.
And then it was fine.
Yeah.
Do you remember 13 health pop Mordekaiser?
Oh my god! Or like,
how do you lose lane?
How do you lose lane?
You have 13 health.
I miss going Zed with Red Pot and a couple pots, and then just taking it and then just chunking them. Just level 2, just chunking them.
What I'd do is I'd play Zed and I'd build Sword of the Divine. And I ult the person and I just crit them 30 times. It's like, what the fuck? It was so
Season 3 was a fun meta.
I don't know if I have like a favorite season, but I have things that I hated. Lethality, Black Cleaver meta, AP Tryndamere. I can't believe that was the biggest nightmare.
Yeah, I hated that.
When AP it was the nightmare no one saw coming. AP Tryndamere.
Yeah.
If I told you that in season 2, you would have been like,
crazy.
You're a fucking bronze girl.
Like,
that makes no sense. It's like, nope, AP Tryndamere apparently insanely broken.
Oh yeah, AP Yi. Whew.
Yeah.
AP and AP Sion.
Oh my god, yeah, AP Yi, dude. That
AP Sion. The relic of a past era, played in Season 5 World.
AP, oh my god, Bishu. I used to be an AP Nidman.
Yeah,
so
Bishu, AP Nidalee, bro. Fucking
that was like, that is like what Zoe, I feel like, what do you think is worse, AP Nidalee or Zoe?
Zoe.
And Zoe's current state, as of right now.
As of right now?
I think AP Nidalee is way worse.
AP Nidalee was worse as of right now, but I think as soon as Zoe got released with Hextech Gunblade and all that shit, that was
I would say it was close. I would say it was close.
Dude, at least AP Nid.
Okay, on release, I might say Zoe, but with the changes, I think AP Nid just takes the cake.
Yeah, because AP
you couldn't see projectiles from Fog of War back then.
Yeah, back then.
You're just walking and then I just lost all my health.
And I'm just dead. Yeah.
I don't even know what hit me. I don't know where it hit me from.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. From Shaco Cat. If you could play one champion for the rest of your life, what would it be?
What answer do you expect?
Yeah, this guy literally just played Jace.
What do you want me to say?
Yeah, like.
You want me to say a different champion? Because I'm gonna say Jace. I'm gonna say Jace, buddy. Hey, who are you gonna say? You gonna say Cat?
Yeah.
Hey, Ace. Let me guess.
Wait, what?
Let me guess your champion. Jax?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, that champ is actually like Jax isn't even just one champion. He's basically 3.
Same with
like,
Jace, dude. He's like 2 different champions. Her daggers are like a different champion.
I swap. I feel like I swap mains from like season to season to whoever I just find most fun. But as of this moment, I do not imagine myself like changing champs.
Yeah, I think unless like Zed, if Zed or Yasuo got super buffed, maybe. But I think Jace is like I played Jace for like 3 seasons now. My 3rd season.
It just like, and I think that's when you're talking about like the main of your champion. But like my main, she's so fun to play. She's so rewarding.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm always improving with it too. Like I never play Jace perfect ever. There's never a game I play.
And I feel like you're just like you're trying to reach that point where it's just like eventually you're gonna become the best in fucking all of North America.
Yeah.
And that's like what we're all headed toward. Okay. For mid Jace.
For mid Jace, because no one plays it, dude.
You have to be the best Jace overall, though.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that shit. Too hard. Too many top winners.
Okay. Porn star Tori. Poppy, Lulu, Tristana. I don't even want to answer that question. I'm not even.
Yeah,
do any of you want that?
Nah, I don't.
Okay, I'm
Can
good.
I kill all of them?
I'll just pass.
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Okay, how about we do with
pick
like
some
one...
hotter pick some hotter Yordles next time. How about that?
Jesus. Gee, what's wrong?
Pick Teemo next time. I'll tell you who.
Okay, let's pick 3, right? Let's do Azir. Okay, Azir. Okay, this can't be your main champ. What's a secondary champ you'd like to include? We can all add one. I'll add Azir.
Azir, Urgot.
No, that's too easy. Everyone's gonna kill Urgot.
Yeah, I'd marry Urgot in a hot heartbeat. My bad.
So a champion you play, you could put like Victor, and you could put Swain in.
Swain, that dash.
Swain,
that dash.
Ace,
man.
what's your champ?
Gotta have a champ. Fuck these guys, dude. Give me something.
Dude, have you a little cap of pride? Come on, give it the time.
I have no idea.
Jarvan.
Let's get Ari.
I would, that was the first thing that popped in my mind. Jarvan. Fuck.
Jax, Katarina, Jace. Yeah, we could do fuck, marry, kill.
Everyone would just marry their main and kill.
No, dude. Okay,
we'll do 2. We'll do 2.
Yeah, okay, so that one I'd fuck Katarina, marry Jace, kill Jax.
Yeah, that's too easy. All of you guys would sexualize my champion.
Yeah, well, who are you fucking? You fucking Jace, bro?
Dude, I would marry Cat. Jace is a handsome dude.
Who you fucking Ace?
I'd probably kill. I don't know if I'd want to kill Jax or Jace though.
Yeah, I'm just saying. None of you know what Jax looks like. Actually,
that's true. He's packing heat.
Bro. So are you adding Jarvan as your second champ?
He's packing straight heat, bro.
Are you adding Jarvan as your second champ?
Oh,
You know, Jason's
yeah,
hammer's
sure. Fuck
pretty,
it.
You know, it can extend. It's got that.
Okay, so
hand
who is
form.
it? Who are you adding, Ace?
I'll add Jarvan.
Jarvan. Okay, so fuck, marry, kill. Jarvan, Azir,
And Swain.
and Swain.
Okay.
Oh, actually, nah, I'm swapping it out for Shen.
Shen. Okay, Shen.
Okay. Shen, Azir, and Swain. I think the Emperor could, give me a nice lifestyle. I'd marry the Emperor.
Would you want to marry? He'd always be pretentious the entire time.
Yeah,
He's
but
like,
I'd be surrounded by
Yeah,
fucking
he'd be
soldiers.
rich
I'd
as
be
fuck.
like, yo, fan my ass. Give me some grapes. Come
That's
on.
true. Okay, so I'd probably marry Azir.
Yeah, and then
Fuck or kill.
Shen or
I wish Jarvan
Swain.
was here.
I'd kill Shen and fuck Swain because I think Swain.
You would fuck
I'd kill
Swain.
Swain. I'd kill Swain and fuck Shen because I think Shen's got the finesse. He's got the moves. He's got the finger agility. He could give me a nice time. Whereas like Swain's, he's laying there in bed. He's trying to get his crows to fuck me. I'm like, the fuck, bro? Get off me.
There's just crows.
Just on
on
you.
you.
Me, just pecking my butt.
No,
It's like,
okay.
dude, that is a no-go.
I'd probably kill Swain and fuck that. Shen has the mask,
Yeah, he's got the
Maybe I can pretend there's like
He's got that mystery.
some Baywatch underneath there.
Exactly, dude. He's ripped.
Okay, Ace, go ahead.
I'd probably roll with fuck Azir, marry Shen, kill Swain.
Marry Shen, damn. He's
Marry
always got the
Shen.
staying united, baby. He's staying united.
He wants the Emperor's body.
Yeah, he wants
dude.
the Emperor's
He
body.
wants
He
the
just wants to
Emperor's body.
objectify the Emperor. I see how it is.
Okay, should we even do the mains one? Because I feel like all of you guys are just gonna sexualize my champion.
Oh, I'm sexualizing the fuck out of
Yeah.
the
Oh,
only
yeah,
woman in the
definitely.
lineup. Are you okay? I'm not fucking Jace, dude. He might be a good champion. But
See, I appreciate Katarina for her
for her and not her body.
for her in general, dude. I'd marry her.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one want to fuck Alawi? Dude, I'd fuck Alawi.
Dude, I need a fucking
Dude, you'd
towel.
die.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
You would die.
Oh, yeah, I'd get tentacled.
Okay, from Port Tartaric, the person you secretly wish you were good at.
Riven. I wish I was a nutty Riven player, but I can't play it, dude.
I think
Game's too hard.
there's only one champion that I can't play at a D5 level, and that's Nidalee. So
Really?
throw me a bone on that one, dude.
Oh, dude.
I told Corrupt about this. I was forced to play a game in Italy as part of like a practice thing for a team that I was on for a short time.
Yeah.
And I went 1-9, and we did a 20-minute surrender. No doubt in my mind that would have been a lot higher number. And the one kill that I got was because it was the first spear that I landed, and the only spear that I landed all game.
That's awesome.
So
Dude,
it's pretty miserable.
Legit with Riven, it's like on the minions, I'm a god, right? I can auto queue that shit. As soon as like a person walks up to me, I just feel retarded. I'm just like, I just cancel every auto attack, Q 3 times, don't get a single auto attack off, and just die.
I feel like I'd be tempted between. Okay, number one, being a god bard would just be insane.
Oh, I know,
It'd
dude.
be-
That's why I
would just
Bard.
big bard every single game.
Bard's so fun.
It would be
It's the only-
amazing.
it's the only support I
Or maybe Talia. I think I
Talia's
can
hard as
play
fuck.
Talia, but to be a god at Talia
Yeah.
is like not
Yeah.
easy.
Like with Ace, I think I can play most champions at like a 5 level at least, but like Riven, I literally feed every time I play her. It was
Dude,
like
let me
that with
tell you.
Katarina at first, and then I learned her. I can't learn.
It took a lot of sweat
You have
for
to
some
learn
of the
like
champions,
champion.
dude.
Get out of here.
Like,
Well,
I
I've learned it
remember
to a D5
originally...
level,
Okay,
at least.
Okay, so
It's hard. The first game I was literally like, what does this champion do? And then I was like, I'm 1 in 10. I can't get any of my damage off. It sucks.
I'd
I'm
probably
so
go
bad.
like 120 on Jason. Honestly.
Oh, I don't know, dude. His skill force is pretty high, I would say. I think Katarina's skill force is a lot lower.
Dude, bring back the good old Jace where he just, from cannon form, just full combo you and
Yeah.
you're dead.
Just slimed him up. Oh, yeah. Lethality, Jace. Oh, bring me back.
Lethality, full combo
Yes, dude,
from the
path when
bush.
Lethality came out, I like woke up like it was Christmas. I'm like, oh yeah, it's time. Just get on my computer.
Dude,
Oh, everyone's dying to make
I
noise.
remember-
It's great.
Back with 1,200 gold, buy a
Yes,
brutalizer,
buy
one
another
shot
god item.
everybody.
Oh.
Oh, that was a good
Yes.
time.
Lavels, we're probably not gonna FMK between us. Yeah, probably
Well,
not.
oh, okay.
Next question.
Between us, we all know he'd fuck me. I'd fuck me.
Whoa,
Come on.
I don't know. Have you seen Ace's beard, man?
That's
That thing's
true.
overpowered.
Overpowered. That's why I marry him. He's a wholesome man. I just cook him.
Yeah, dude. Ace would be a good husband.
Yeah, he'd be a great husband. Cook me dinner. play jungle jacks for me. He's a jungler. He's a good.
He just comes home. Dude, he has the lumberjack look.
Yeah, exactly. We're
I got the
He
support.
wears some flannel. He breaks through the door. You know, he's like, I just finished my.
Oh,
fucking
please tell me I have flannel in the closet.
Mid laner is the guy you want to party with, not the guy you want to spend the rest of your life with. The jungler is where you want. Jungler or support me.
Let's see. Okay,
join an LCS team.
Now you guys are getting too hypey for the FMKs.
I like that LCS team question.
Yeah.
I play naked. Yeah, I've just been scrolling down them one by one. But okay, if you were to join an LCS team, which I'd say before this season, I would have 100% said TSM. But I don't know if I like replacing Bjerg.
Nah, I'd still choose TSM.
I would just int. I would be sad.
I couldn't replace Bjerg.
If just an LCS team. I don't know, dude, because I would want to say I would want to be on a good fucking team, but I know I would int. I know I would int.
Would be pretty cool.
Yeah, if it's
not... they're just saying, like, if you had the opportunity to pick your team, which one would it be?
Okay.
I think 100 Thieves might be pretty cool.
If it's not TSM, CLG, C9,
or
C9
Team, or Team Liquid having double lift bot lane every game, bro.
If it's not
Team Liquid, yeah.
I would
give me that shit, dude. Who's their
the thing is, I feel
Impact? Yeah, having Impact and fucking double lift
away.
Yeah,
I'd have to go Team Liquid. Double lift and Impact.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, who even is their jungler?
Well, Smithy's like, you know, he's support. My map won't be dark, which is a good thing. And then my other lanes are winning, so what more do I want?
Okay, the negative. Why are you guys Tarzan's biggest fans?
Because he's so hot. He's so sexy, dude.
Jesus, I don't even play with the guy that much. Honestly,
I play with him too much. I hate him. I hate him so much. He's still like, he'll play decent and then like just flame one guy. I'll just pick one guy to flame because he's insecure about himself or his looks or something, and it'll just be like, oh my god, you suck. You're short. XD, and then just like flame all game, and then he spends the entire game flaming, and then nothing gets done, and we lose, and then he blames the person he's flaming for losing, and then he'll go on Twitter and say, wow, dude, jungle just sucks. This sucks. And then he'll go on Twitter again and be like, I'm sorry, I'm just so competitive, and that's the reason why I'm toxic. Then he'll get banned, and then fuck Tarzan.
Had your Thorin special.
Fuck Tarzan.
Okay, Kilo saying a horrible pun. I'm not repeating. Dream NA LCS team.
Like the dream, like I was talking about more like orgs or like their,
or like if you could pick the players.
Yeah, because if it's about orgs, I would love to be in like a fucking like C9, any like top team. That'd be so cool.
Like Impact top, blank jungle. Like, I want blank.
Wait, can I take like Korean pros?
Yeah, you can take Korean.
I can take Korean pros. Okay, I want Khan top. He's gonna take my Jace though.
Yeah, he's gonna take your Jace. I'm
just gonna be like, okay, Khan, let's be honest. I'm better Jace.
Dude, it's slight bitch slap you right there. He's like, come. I'm like,
no, honestly,
call you irrelevant.
I would like having Khan on my team because then we could flex the Jace pick. They would never know if we were.
No, you know what would happen? You would do that, and you know how we look at like LAN players?
Yeah.
That's how KR would look at you.
Oh yeah, he'd be like, you're garbage.
Here's this LAN fucking Masters player trying to take like.
Okay. But yeah, I definitely need to take Jace from your game.
Who would you want, Ace? Who would you want?
Yeah.
Alright, so I think like Faker mid is just like unquestionable.
Must have. Or Apto. You want Apto on your team?
Faker has better world experience.
Oh, 100%. But
yeah, Faker has better experience.
I would just
but Apto could just go like 12 CS every game, like 12 CS a minute every game, and just be like, "You guys all suck."
Yeah,
he just plays.
You guys all suck.
Yeah, I would probably take either Faker or Apto mid, and then I feel like I would, if I could bring back Rush, I would take Rush in the jungle.
Where are you going, top?
Yeah, I would probably go top. No, you know, actually, no, I would put myself in the jungle, and then I would roll with Haunter top. Because I feel like...
He's so flexible.
Yeah, no.
So flexible.
Yeah, dude, we're rigid. We're both
rigid as fuck. Taking the most.
Mid is so
Alright, damn, dude. This is actually like a hard question, though. Like,
all world class.
Like I could take like Haunter top, or I could take like Huni top. I could take like.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
You would want
like there's a lot of good top laners. Like Soaz. Well, Soaz is
like
too hot anymore, but he's pretty good. Right? He's pretty nasty.
Well, I mean, if you choose from KR too.
I could choose con.
Because it is like 10:30.
Yeah, we've actually been running this episode. Okay.
Yeah,
so
take 2 more questions. Last 2 questions.
We'll take 2 more questions, and then we'll go ahead and
QA. But thank you guys. This is awesome. I love.
Yeah, glad you guys are enjoying.
Yeah.
Okay. Scar, have you seen Blank recently? I haven't seen the Reddit thing. I can't really comment too much on it. Okay, Rasenkin, LOL. Would you guys have the choice to go pro after you complete your degrees? Would you do it? Would you go to low tier teams?
Dude,
if I had a right now,
if I had a chance to go on an LCS team right now, I would drop out of college in a heartbeat.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. If I had that opportunity in my life to do that, fuck college. Actually.
Like, you could always come back. Like, that's the thing.
Like, college isn't like a... Like, yeah, I have like a scholarship or whatever, and like I won't get that when I come back, but...
But like, you're gonna be rolling in like 6 figures a year, maybe.
Yeah,
like
for
if
like
you're
as
really
long as
good.
it lasts, man.
Maybe you want to get. It's not guaranteed 6 figures.
Of course,
you get 5.
yeah, it's not guaranteed, but still,
you might get like 40K.
Still, dude, I would.
No, you're getting more than 40K. If you're going pro team, like even if you're
franchised LCS team, you're getting probably 60K.
Yeah, you're getting money.
You're probably getting 100K.
Like sponsorship deals, like gotta remember
then it's also like maybe just salary, you're not getting like 100K, but then like
but then
exposure with streaming,
your stream, like you're all over the place, dude.
Free shit.
Okay, but then you're over like pro player life isn't easy, dude. You're playing like
not.
everyone, like
Oh,
you're playing
not.
12 to 14 hours a day, and
Yeah.
results are everything. You have no job security. I would not like. Okay, I would finish my degree because I'm way closer than you guys. I just have like a year left. I would finish my degree, and then I would consider it because I think there's certain like jobs in the world where a very few people get to experience them. Not everyone can be an LCS player, and not everyone has the option to. And I think we're close to. We're not there. None of us are there yet.
None of us are.
But if we were presented the option, I would highly consider it because I think it's a life experience you can get nowhere else. And it's once in a lifetime. So, okay. So, next question.
Like, even if I was offered a position to be a sub, like, I would still take it.
Yeah, I would take it.
Still have player salary.
I would drop out for a sub.
I would drop out for a sub spot.
Yeah, and like subs are actually like super important too because you work with the players in the main role anyways all the time.
Getting exposure as well because you're on the team. It's like I would take it in a heartbeat.
Okay, so last question. You had to bring one league character to life. Which? One league character?
I would probably just go Riven.
Or just exist?
Yeah,
do we just bring Aurelion Soul just to kill everyone?
Kill everything
kill the universe?
On the Earth? Karthus, so he just requiems the entire Earth? That'd be nice. And I like have it not target me.
I don't know enough about the lore. And the league lore is so
Am I on their team? Or are they hitting me with their abilities, dude? Because I'm scared. I don't want to bring anything here.
Did you say Riven Ace?
Yes, I did.
Riven. Would I would Katarina might kill me, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Are they on my team, dude? Or are they just gonna kill me?
Would Jace be condescending?
Would Jace just be like, I'm the defender of tomorrow, man, get on? I'm like, get away from me, Chad. Like, Chad, chill.
You're like, dude, I'm trying to live in the present, bro, and Jace wants to live in the
present
future.
moment. Yeah, it's not the future,
man.
Or just get like Victor and just like, yo, can you make the next best thing so I can get rich as fuck? Because he's like the master inventor, right?
Yeah,
so just be like, make some like wormhole shit, and I'm gonna show it to some people.
Yeah, maybe I'm like out on a walk with Katarina, and then she just kills someone, and I'm like,
you
just killed someone.
Yeah, and I guess it's like I got the reset, man. It's like, dude, that's a human being.
You can't kill people.
You can't
kill
people.
What are you doing? Oh my god.
Okay.
So that was our last.
Nasus is getting stacks. He's like stacking people.
He's
just stacking people, dude. He just dome.
He just goes to the dog.
You're walking your dog, aka Nasus, and he's just farming people instead of pooping.
What if he farmed ants? Wouldn't that be better?
That'd be so nuts.
Dude, what if you just have like Tryndamere as the most fucking brolic like workout instructor you've ever seen?
Dude, just your sole purpose in life is to fucking
here's what
lift
you do.
This bar off me if it falls on me.
You pretend Tryndamere is a paraplegic and you hide one arm. And then it's like the best instructor, the one-armed, just the one-limbed best workout instructor in the world.
Legend.
Okay, so Terabyte, what college you guys go to? We go to Iowa State University.
Yeah, Iowa State.
And that was our last question. So It's been a long episode.
Yeah, it's been a long episode.
I enjoyed this. We'll go ahead and upload it to YouTube. Thanks so much. We love the interest you guys show. If you have any feedback,
I love the Q&As. Love all the questions.
Yeah, the Q&A is always fun. The much more relaxed side.
Thanks.
So that is going to be it from us. So Ace, would you like to do your challenger outro?
Oh, dude, what the hell? What's the difference between a challenger and a non-challenger outro?
The long hair guy. Yeah, I got you.
Anyways, you guys can find me at Ace Windstorm on everything, twitch.tv/Ace Windstorm, Twitter at Ace Windstorm, all that good stuff. Master of the Grandmaster, recently hit Challenger for the first time in 7 years of playing League of Legends. That's me. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Credenda.
Well, this is, the Credenda on Twitter, Credenda on Twitch, Credenda on YouTube. Just released a montage today, actually, so check that shit out. I'm fire. I'm clean. Best chase, mid, NA. Love you guys. I'm gonna not go 0-3 in my master promos next time
Good choice. Good choice. You already know me, Catherine Beast, hosting my channel. I also have a new montage on my YouTube, so check that out. But thank you all so much for watching this episode of Riff Raff. They're going to be hosted weekly at 8 CST. So next week there'll be a fresh episode for you guys.
Yeah.
So make sure to tune in and make it to Q&A so you can ask them fun questions.
Yeah.
So thank you all so much for watching, and from all of us at Riff Raff,
I was here.
have a lovely night. Peace, guys.
Peace.